Alright, hello. Did I do the thing? Did it freaking work? Oh crap, my Sanji figurine just fell. I really hope this thing works. Hello, Jack Chase! Nice to see you in the chat. I don't know. I feel like I should remember you. But if this is your first time, hello. Welcome in. If this is your second time, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If it's your any subsequent time. What's up, Amy? Hello, randomly assessed. Oh my word, there are multiple people in here, and I'm still kind of a little bit late because stuff. I forgot to do some shit. Give me a second. To like, things are not on schedule. First of all, music. Here we are. The theme is here. Dash Point, what's good, man? It's nice to see you again. Hello, hello. Oh, wow, there are so many people in the chat immediately. I'm scared. You're scaring me. Now I have to actually, like, perform and, like, do good. Because usually I can just not be anything because nobody's here. But now I have to, like, actually try and stuff. Okay. Yes, nice to see you all. Nice to see you again, Amy. Okay, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, because I posted the thing on the TikTok thing. But now I gotta do it on the YouTube thing. So that people know I'm live from YouTube. What's up? It's Bonnie Faye. Nice to see you again as well. Give me a second. I'm just posting the short so people know that I'm live, and then we are going to get into talking about what I've read, and then we are going to get into the chapters 13 through 15. I was originally only going to do chapters 10, 11, and 12 today, but then I saw, it was Anthony's comment. He's not here right now. Anthony's comment that he was like, do 13 and 14. And I was like, okay. I guess we're doing 13 and 14 today then. And somebody else made a comment that said 15, so I was like, okay, we're going to assume 13, 14, 15. It's not quite the middle of the book. Not quite the middle of the book. But it is some chapters that people wanted me to read that I apparently are good. So I trust you guys because you've read this before and I haven't. And I just go based off vibes, whether I feel like the next chapter is going to be good or not. So we'll see. Hold on. Titan's Curse. Read. Stream. Let's do this really quickly. Select audience. Yes, this is something I should have done before the stream, but I always end up doing it on the stream. Or whatever. That's what I'll do good. Alright. Alright, so what the fuck have I read? Let's see. I'm doing my French homework right now, so this stream is nice to help me along. Also, you'll have to see it. That's how you know you've made it as a YouTuber. when somebody's doing their homework with their stream in the background. Oh, so you're up to the certain chapters you're recommended to read live? Pretty much. Like if I don't get any specific chapters to read live, then I'm just gonna like read halfway through the book. That's what I did for Sea of Monsters. I read just through halfway through, read 11, 12, and 13 on stream, and then I read the end. So that's usually what I'll do. If I don't get any, I'll just read the middle and then the end on stream. But since you guys told me these are good, then I'm doing this. Okay, but dude, the thing that I want to talk about the most, first and foremost, actually 2 things. Damn it, 3 things. There's a lot of things to talk about. Let's just go. Bro was kidding about the next day. I mean, to be honest, it wasn't the next day because I didn't do it yesterday. It's been 2 days. But what can I say? Book is good. Book is good, bro. So if you can hear people in the background, ignore them because my family's loud. So what is it? First of all, Thalia. Thalia is really cool. I really like Thalia. My biggest question was, could she summon lightning from the sky and use lightning powers like Percy can use water powers? Yes, she can. She summoned lightning from the sky and blasted Percy with it, which was sick. Their standoff after they lost the game to the Huntresses, that was hard. That was so fire. I was like, what? I was losing my mind. He would talk about how dirty Bianca did Nico. Dude, I was pissed. I was like, you're just gonna leave your brother like that? You're just gonna leave your 10-year-old brother? What are you doing? What are you talking? That's a bitch sister move. I mean, like, you can't even be, like, you just found out you're gods, and you're gonna dip. Like, bro. And she's like, oh, I wanted to be alone for my brother for, like, I mean, I get it, but, like, maybe she just doesn't understand how big of a deal it is being immortal and never being able to see your brother like that. Like, come on. You have to renounce boys. You have to renounce all boys. Oh god, I just remember another thing I want to talk about. So Thalia and Percy standoff, that was cool. And the Oracle walking up to them afterwards, that was epic. But then, when Percy sneaks out, first of all, Blackjack is cool. I thought we were gonna have to meet him, like, cause we saw him in Sea of Monsters, but I thought we were gonna, like, officially meet him, and, like, they were gonna have a moment, him and Percy, and, like, connect in the middle of this book for the first time, but no, the Midge are off screen, which is fine. He's just a fun little horse dude. Funny little horse dude. You can really tell how scary awesome it can be when a child of the big three fight. I was like, I know, I was walking there, I was like, this is why they were freaking banned. They're only like 13, 14, 15 years old, and the children of the big three are, like, too powerful. Like, if Percy wanted to, he could have probably swamped the entire capture of the flag arena, and then Thalia could have, like, electrocuted the water, and that would have just taken out everybody at Camp Half-Blood just then, and then they would have won capture the flag. Like, I understand they didn't want her space, but she had the opportunity to not have to raise Nico by herself, but she just dumps him on the first guy who asked. Honestly, man, you got lucky that Percy's like a good dude. He's a good dude, you know. But then, dude, first of all, Percy wanted to be on the quest is really funny. He's like, I just feel like I'm supposed to be here. I'm the main character of the book. I'm supposed to need to be on the quest. And it's like, yeah, you need to. That's kind of what it is. That's kind of how it is. Crap. What else? Mr. D. The Mr. D scene was probably my favorite scene so far. When we get actual insight on his character, and he's like, Percy, do you know why I hate heroes? Because they're hypocrites. And it's like, you get his backstory of things that happened with his wife, and his punishment is here because he hates heroes. What do I think of Percy's dreams? At this point, like, it makes sense in the first book, right? Because Kronos is invading his dreams. It makes sense in the second book, because Grover established the link. But in this book, it's kind of like, I feel like Rick's just using it as a plot point now, and I'm like, okay, why are you having these dreams? Like, if there was a reason, then I'd be like, I would be cool with it. But because it seems like there's no reason for these dreams, I'm like, okay, we're just doing, this is just a thing now? This is a thing now? Apollo? Hold on, 1 second. Somebody's knucking with it. Crap, sorry about that, guys. I just got handed a Chick-fil-A sandwich, so we're kind of stacked out for this one. What was I saying? Apollo? These are the wrong headphones. I can't hear the music through these ones. Apollo is cool. He's a Chad. He's just a Chad. Like, that's he's just a Chad. Like, he doesn't have any deep character yet. I like him more than Artemis, because Artemis is kind of a biatch. She's like, boys are evil. Ew, gross, yucky boys. And like, first of all, I get it. But two, like, come on, Artemis. Like, be a little mature. Like, I get it. You're 12 years old forever. But they're not that bad. Like, and I'm sure Percy's gonna, like, do something that'll give, probably not Artemis, because she's an immortal god, but probably Zoe. They described it as Percy is able to dream about important things, not just what Kronos wanted him to see, because Percy invaded a dream between Kronos and Luke. I guess that makes sense, but why, though? Like, why can he do this? Like, I don't have a problem with him being able to do it, because I think it's cool, and I think it makes sense. But, like, I also think it's weird that he's the only demigod who could do this. Like, if it was, like, a big 3 ability, like, Thalia was also having important dreams, I'd be like, okay. But it's just, it feels like a little too, like, convenient. That's my only thing about this series so far, that I'm like, you know. Mr. D, though, he was sick. Best part that I've read so far. Best thing that I've read so far. Okay, hold on. Before we get into the actual book, let me look through, see if I'm remembering. I make a dangerous promise. The promise to Nico, I like that scene a lot. Learn how to grow zombies, that was alright. Break a few rocket ships, that was a dope fight. And then he get the bulletproof lion's vest, I like that a lot. Grover gets a Lamborghini, that was cool. That was cool, with the little, with finding out, I gotta probably find out, like, Riptide's true, like, backstory in this. Now it's like, how his backstory was sad, that's dope. Because Riptide is, like, an important thing. So, and Zoe's backstory is tied to Riptide? That's cool. How do you feel about the older cover after Mr. D's conversation with Percy? Ooh, I was wondering if that's what that was. I was wondering if that's what that was. Hold on, we're gonna go back and look at it before we start reading. So we were talking about that last stream. I have to go back and look at it again. I was like, is that the moment? And then I go snowboarding with a pig. Okay, that's weird. The pig thing, that was cool. That's like the first sign of Pan. It was like, whoa, Pan. That's interesting. Maybe Grover was right about them resurrecting with the thing and the stuff that he was talking about. Okay. Let's look at this right here. Percy Jackson, Titan's Curse, book cover. Let's look at this, the original cover. Images. This original cover. Oh, yeah, that is that. Because of the vines and everything. Okay, that's cool. I like that a lot. You can see the grapevine reaching. Yes. That was like, that's my favorite Mr. D moment in the entire series so far. I like that a lot. I like that. That's really freaking cool, actually. Yeah, the original cover is definitely better than this newer one. Even though I like it, like it's fine, but the original cover is just, it's just cooler. Dang, that's sick. I didn't even notice those vines the first time I looked at it. All right, let us get underway. Let me do the thing where I put up the thing on the thing. Titan's Curse thing. Let's do this. Then we're gonna actually start getting into the reading. This is the longest intro I've done so far, because there are a lot of you guys, which I'm happy about. So you're actually asking me questions about shit, which is always nice. Can fucking I zoom out, please? Okay, cool. Reaction screen. Zoom, 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 zoom. Okay, that'll be what we do. Cool. That works for me. Yay! Now we have a little thingy. Listen, I'm an amateur, alright? I could make a whole stream deck. That's like, look at us, we're reading Percy Jackson and Titan's Curse. But then that would be a lot of work. You get it. You get the point. You get it. Alright. It's funny how I can't remember like half of the stuff happening here. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. Not gonna lie, I read and finished book 3 and 4 just this afternoon after your stream. I'm anticipating you getting there. I forgot about half this stuff until you brought it up. Like Zoe's history being tied to Riptide. Yeah, man. It's sick, dude. But that's cool. I'm really excited to get to book 4. I heard like it gets crazy in book 4, and especially book 5, obviously. So, but that's like the end of the series, you know? I'm over halfway through now. I'm over halfway through. So, alright. I think that's enough for the talking. Take a swig of water beforehand, because I'm going to be talking a lot more reading this damn book. Alright. I have a sandwich, too, so I might be snacking on that, but I probably won't be. I'm not going to lie. Alright. Ready? Let's get into it. Chapter 13. We visit the junkyard of the gods, which sounds really cool. Like everything in this series, because like I just love. Sorry, one quick thing. I love series with the juxtaposition of like epicness and silliness, and that is perfectly what Percy Jackson is. Epic, like Greek mythology, gods, vast stories. Junkyard, elevator, the Smithsonian Museum. Like it's just funny. All right, let's get into it. We rode the boar until sunset, which was about as much as my back end could take. Imagine riding a giant steel brush over a bed of gravel all day. That's about how comfortable boar riding was. I have no idea how many miles we covered, but the mountains faded into the distance and were replaced by miles of flat, dry land. The grass and scrub brush got sparser until we were galloping. Do boars gallop? Across the red desert. As night fell, the boar came to a stop at a creek bed and snorted. He started drinking the muddy water, then ripped a saguaro cactus out of the ground and chewed it, needles and all. This is as far as he'll go, Grover said. We had to get off while he's eating. Nobody needed convincing. We slipped off the boar's back while he was busy ripping up cacti. Then we waddled away as best we could with our saddle sores. After its third saguaro, whatever that word means, and another drink of muddy water, the boar squealed and belched, then whirled around and galloped back toward the east. I like words. It likes the mountains better, I guess. I can't blame it, Thalia said. Look, ahead of us was a 2-lane road half covered with sand. On the other side of the road was a cluster of buildings too small to be a town. boarded up house. Why am I struggling with words today? Am I dyslexic now? A boarded up house, a taco shop that looked like it hadn't been open since before Zoe Nightshade was born, and a white Stuco post office with a sign that said Gila Claw, Arizona. Hanging crooked above the door beyond that was a range of hills, but then I noticed they weren't regular hills. The countryside was way too flat for that. The hills were enormous mounds of mold, the cars, appliances, and other scrap metal. It was a junkyard that seemed to go on forever. Whoa, I said. Something tells me we're not going to find a car rental here, Dahlia said. She looked at Grover. I don't suppose you got another wild boar up your sleeve? Grover was sniffling the wind, looking nervous. He fished out his acorns and threw them into the sand, and played his pipes. They rearranged themselves in a pattern that made no sense to me, but Grover looked concerned. That's us, he said. Those 5 nuts right there. Which one is me? I asked. The little deformed ones. The little deformed ones, Zoe suggested. Oh, shut up. That cluster right there, Grover said. Point to the left, that's trouble. It's a type of cactus? Good to know. A monster? Thalia asked. Grover looked uneasy. I don't smell anything. One second. I'm going to start doing voice acting again, because it's always fun. I don't smell anything, which doesn't make... I don't smell anything, which doesn't make sense. But the acorns don't lie. Our next challenge... He pointed straight toward the junkyard, with the sunlight almost gone now. The hills of metal looks like something out on an alien planet. We decided to camp for the night and try the junkyard in the morning. None of us wanted to go dumpster diving in the dark. This is why I love Zoe. Zoe's actually kind of funny, but she's also a little bit of a bitch, but it's whatever. Zoe and Bianca produced 5 sleeping bags and foam mattress out of their backpacks. That's one thing. When you become a hunter, do you automatically just become a badass? Like, do you just get all the powers? If that's so, then like, that's a pretty sweet deal. Like, you just get, like, you immediately don't have to train or anything like that. I assume she would have to train, but apparently not. She's just good. I don't know how they did it, because the packs were tiny, but must have been enchanted to hold so much. I noticed their bows and quivers were also magic. I never really thought about it, but when the hunters needed them, they just appeared and slung over their backs, and when they didn't, they were gone. The night got chilly fast, so Grover and I collected old boards from the ruined house, and Thalia zapped them with an electric shock to start a campfire. Pretty soon we were about as comfy as you get in a run-down ghost town in the middle of nowhere. The stars are out, Zoe said. One second. Hold on, what's her old one? The stars are out. I don't know why she's Russian, but she is, I guess. The stars are out, Zoe said. She was right. There were millions of them, and those city lights to turn the sky orange. Amazing, Bianca said. I've never really seen them. I've never really seen the Milky Way. This is nothing, Zoe said. In the old days, there were more. Whole constellations have disappeared because of human light pollution. Zoe's Russian. I guess. That's the voice I chose. You talk like you're not a human, I said. Zoe raised an eyebrow. I am a hunter. I care what happens to the wild places of the world. Can the same be said for thee? For you, Dahlia corrected. Not thee. But you use you for the beginning of the sentence. And for the end, Dahlia said. No thou, no thee, just you. Zoe threw up hands in exasperation. I hate this language. It changes too often. Grover sighed. He was still looking up at the stars like he was thinking about light pollution problem. If only Pan were here, he would set things right. Zoe nodded sadly. Maybe it was the coffee, Grover said. I was drinking coffee and the wine came. Maybe if I drank more coffee. I was pretty sure coffee had nothing to do with what happened in the Cloudcroft. Obviously not. But I didn't have the heart to tell Grover. I thought about the rubber rat and the tiny birds that had suddenly come alive when the wind blew. Grover, do you really think that was Pan? I mean, I know you want it to be. He sent us help, Grover insisted. I don't know how or why, but it was his presence. After this quest is done, I'm going back to New Mexico and drinking a lot of coffee. It's the best lead we've got in 2,000 years. I was so close. I didn't answer. I didn't want to squash Grover's hopes. What I want to know, Dahlia said, looking at Bianca, is how you destroyed those zombies. There are a lot more out there somewhere. We need to figure out how to fight them. I don't know what Thalia's voice is. I'm slowly figuring out, so it might change as I keep reading. Bianca shook her head. I don't know. I just stabbed it and it went up in flames. I feel like you stabbed it where its heart was supposed to be. And that's what it was. Hold on. I gotta stop looking away. I keep losing my place. Maybe there's something special about your knife, I said. It's the same as mine, Zoe said. Celestial bronze, yes, but might not affect the warriors that way. Maybe you have to hit the skeleton in a certain spot, I said. Exactly. Bianca looked uncomfortable with everybody paying attention to her. Never mind, Zoe told her. We'll find the answer in the meantime. We should plan our next move. When we get to this junkyard, we must continue west. If we can find the road, we can hitchhike to the nearest city. I think that would be Las Vegas. I was about to protest that Grover and I had bad experience in that town. But Bianca beat us to it. No, she said, not there. She looked really freaked out, like she'd just been dropped off the steep end of a roller coaster. Zoe frowned. Why? Bianca took a shaky breath. I think I stayed there for a while. Nico and I, we were traveling, and then I can't remember. Suddenly, I had a bad thought. I remembered Bianca had told me about Nico and her staying in a hotel for a while. I met Grover's eyes and got a feeling he was thinking the same thing. Imagine edgy teenage girl. I'm trying, but as you can see, I am not very edgy, nor am I a teenage girl. So, I'm kind of trying to figure it out. Bianca, I said, that hotel you stayed at, was it possibly called the Lotus Hotel and Casino? Her eyes widened. How would you know that? Oh, great. By the way, I'm doing my voice for Percy because he's just like me for real. Me and Percy are basically the same person. This is fine. Wait, Thai said. What is the Lotus Casino? A couple of years ago, I said, Grover, Annabeth, and I got trapped there. It's designed so you never want to leave. We stayed for about an hour. When we came out, 5 days had passed. It makes time speed up. No, Bianca said. No, that's not possible. You said somebody came and got you. You said somebody came and got you, I remembered. Yes. What do you look like? What do you say? I don't remember. Please, I don't really want to talk about this. Zoe sat forward, her eyebrows knit with concern. You said that Washington, D.C. had changed when you went back last summer. You didn't remember the subway being there. Yes, but... Bianca, can you tell me the name of the President of the United States right now? Don't be silly, Bianca said. She told us the correct name of the President. And who was the President before... And who was the President before that? Sorry, and who was the President before that? Bianca thought for a while. Roosevelt. Zoe swallowed. Theodore or Franklin? Franklin, Bianca said. FDR. Like FDR Drive? I asked, because seriously, that's all I knew about FDR. Bianca, FDR was not the last president. That was about 70 years ago. God damn. That's impossible. I'm not that old. She stood on her hands to make sure they weren't wrinkling. Thalia's eyes turned sad. I guess she knew what it was like to get pulled out of time for a while. It's okay, Bianca. The important thing is you and Nico are safe. You made it out. But how? I said. We were only in there for an hour, and we barely escaped. How could you have escaped after being there for so long? I told you, Bianca looked about ready to cry. A man came and said it was time to leave, and... But who? Why did he do it? Before she could answer, we were hit with a blazing light from down the road. The headlights of a car appeared out of nowhere. I was half hoping it was Apollo, come to give us a ride again, but then it was way too silent for the sun chariot, and besides it was nighttime. We grabbed our sleeping bags and got out of the way as a deathly white limousine slid to a stop in front of us. Sadly, I already kind of knew that. I already kind of inferred. Because, like, somebody left a comment on a post, on, like, the official Percy Jackson Disney Plus account post, on a Hades edit. That was just, like, Hades the type of guy to leave his kids in the casino for 70 years. I was like, okay, I was already spoiled on who Nico and Bianca are. So it took no time to put two and two together. But that's still wild. That's still insane. But, like, like, a lot has to be different. Notice... They're kids, so they're not gonna really pay attention to it like that. But like, that's still crazy. 70 years. That's what, for like 2 weeks. Some of those guys have probably been there since Odysseus. You know what I mean? This is why you gotta stay away until you know everything. I know. That's what I'm doing now. Now I'm like, that was before I even started reading the books. I was just watching the show, but now I'm like, now I'm not. I'm halfway through. I'm not getting spoiled on anything else. I'm just gonna keep going because it's too important for me now. The back door of the limo opened right next to me. Before I could step away, the point of a sword touched my throat. I heard the sound of Zoe and Bianca drawing their bows. As the owner of the sword got out of the car, I moved back very slowly. I had to because he was pushing toward under my chin. He smiled cruelly. Is it Luke? I guess it was Luke. Nope, no. He spoke. Not so fast, are you? Now are you, punk? It's Ares. It's Ares. He was a big man with a crew cut, a black leather biker's jacket, black jeans, and a white muscle shirt and combat boots. Wraparound shades hid his eyes, but I knew that was behind those. It was behind those glasses. Hollow sockets filled with flames. Ares, I growled. I was waiting for when they were gonna meet each other again. The war god glanced at my friends. At ease, people. He snapped his fingers and their weapon fell to the ground. This is a friendly meeting. He dug the point of his blade a little farther under my chin. Of course, I'd like to take your head for a trophy, but someone wants to see you. And I never behead my enemies in front of a lady. Really? What lady? Thalia asked. Ares looked over at her. Well, I heard you were back. That's her brother. I still think it's funny that Ares is Thalia's brother and Thalia is Annabeth's auntie. I think that's hilarious. He lowered his sword and pushed me away. Thalia, daughter of Zeus. You're not hanging out with very good company. What's your business, Ares? She said. Who's in the car? Ares smiled and drew the attention. Oh, I doubt she wants to meet the rest of you. Particularly not them. He jutted his chin toward Zoe and Bianca. Why don't you all go home? Get some tacos while you wait. Only take Percy a few minutes. We will not leave him alone with thee, Lord Ares, Zoe said. Besides, Grover managed, the taco place is closed. Yeah, that's the reason. That's the main reason, because the taco place is closed. Otherwise, Grover would be over there. Ares snapped his fingers again. The lights inside the taqueria suddenly blazed to life. The boards flew off, door and closed sign flipped to open. You were saying, goat boy? Go on, I told my friends. I'll handle this. I tried to sound more comfortable than I felt. I don't think Ares was fooled. You heard the boy, Ares said. He's big and strong. He's got things under control. His friends reluctantly headed over to the taco restaurant. Ares regarded me with loathing, then opened the limousine door like a chauffeur. Get inside, punk, he said. And mind your manners. She's not as forgiving of rudeness as I am. I wonder who this is. Is this Athena? I'm guessing this is Athena. When I saw her, my jaw dropped. I forgot my name. I forgot where I was. I forgot how to speak in complete sentences. She was wearing a red Satan dress, and her hair was curled in cascade of ringlets. Her face was, it's Aphrodite. It's Aphrodite, let's go! Her face was the most beautiful I'd ever seen. Perfect makeup, dazzling eyes, a smile that would have lit up the dark side of the moon. Thinking back on it, I can't tell you who she looked like. Or even what color her eyes were. Pick the most beautiful actress you can think of. The goddess was 10 times more beautiful than that. Pick your favorite hair color, eye, or whatever. The goddess had that. I'm just gonna imagine Isabella Marcet in my head. That's who I'm gonna imagine. Isabella Marcet. When she smiled at me, just for a moment, she looked a little like Annabeth. Percybeth? Percybeth be like? Then like this television actress I used to have a crush on in 5th grade. Then, well, you get the idea. Ah, there you are, Percy, the goddess said. I am Aphrodite. I slipped into the seat across from her and said something like, God. He's just like me for real. She smiled. Aren't you sweet? Hold this, please. She handed me a polished mirror the size of a dinner plate and had me hold it up for her. She leaned forward and dapped up her lipstick, though I couldn't see anything wrong with it. Do you know why you're here? She asked. I wanted to respond. Why couldn't I form a complete sentence? She was only a lady, a seriously beautiful lady, with eyes like pools of spring water. Whoa. I pinched my own arm hard. I don't know, I managed. Oh dear, Aphrodite said, still in denial. Outside the car, I could hear Ares chuckling. I had the feeling he could hear every word we said. The idea of him being out there made me angry, and it helped me clear my head. I don't know what you're talking about, I said. Well then, why are you on this quest? Artemis has been captured. Aphrodite rolled her eyes. Oh, Artemis, please. Talk about a hopeless case. I mean, if they were going to kidnap a goddess, she should be breathtakingly beautiful, don't you think? I pity the poor dears who have to imprison Artemis. Boring. I love Aphrodite already. She's fucking hilarious. If you want to think that way, Mr. D is Percy's cousin and Chiron's uncle. Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Mr. D is Percy's cousin and Chiron's uncle. Yeah, I've been thinking that exact same way throughout the entirety of the thing, because that's just how it is. The gods are just one big family. Also, isn't Chiron like half? Yeah, he's Poseidon's like half brother. He's also the child of Kronos. So, freaking, he's Percy's uncle too. Like, Chiron is Percy's uncle. Also, no, yeah. And Chiron his uncle. Yeah, Mr. D's Chiron's uncle. Yeah. No, Chiron and Mr. D's uncle. Yes. That. Okay. Cool. Anyways. But she was chasing a monster, I protested. A really, really bad one. We have to find it. Aphrodite made me hold the mirror a little higher. She seemed to have found a microscopic problem at the corner of her eye and dabbed at her mascara. Always some monster. But my dear Percy, that is why the others are on this quest. I'm more interested in you. Mara pounded. I didn't want to answer, but her eyes drew an answer right out of my eyes. Annabeth is in trouble. Aphrodite beamed. Exactly. I have to help her, I said. I've been having these dreams. Ah, you even dream about her? That's so cute. Yeah, family in Greek mythology is weird. It really is. Like, I've been saying since the beginning, Percy Jackson is the most popular kid story about incest ever written. Ever written. It's good though. Oh, what is it? No, I mean, that's not what I meant. She made a tisk sound. Percy, I'm on your side. I'm the reason you're here, after all. I stared at her. What? The poisoned shirt the Stoll brothers gave Phoebe? She said, do you think that was an accident? Sending Blackjack to find you. Helping you sneak out of the camp. You did that? Word? I'm sorry? Game of Thrones! Game of Thrones isn't a kid's story, but yes, Game of Thrones is the most popular adult story about incest. Actually, no. Oof. I think both those might be Star Wars. Second popular. Of course. Because really, how boring these hunters are. A quest for some monsters, blah, blah, blah. Saving Artemis, let her stay lost. I say, but a quest for true love? Wait a second, I never said I love Aphrodite, bro. Aphrodite's so great. I hope Selena Beauregard becomes a more prominent character. Because I want a mainer character that is the kid of Aphrodite. I just think that'd be so great. I think that'd be so sick. Oh my dear, you don't need to say it. You don't know Annabeth was close to joining the Hunters, don't you? I blushed. I wasn't sure. She's about to throw her life away. And you, my dear, you can save her from that. It's so romantic. I'll put the mirror down, Aphrodite ordered. I look fine. Facts. Facts. As a hopeless romantic, this scene is sitting with me a bit weird. Not necessarily bad way, though. In what way is it weird? Dash point, I'm curious. I didn't realize I was still holding it, but as soon as I put it down, I noticed my arms were sore. Now listen, Percy. Hunters are your enemies. Forget them, and Artemis and the monster. That's not important. You just concentrate on finding and saving Annabeth. Aphrodite is the worst kind of shipper. Nah, she's the best kind because she makes that shit work. She puts it into practice. Wait a second. Where is it? Okay. Do you know where she is? Aphrodite waved her hand irritably. No. I'll leave the details to you. But it's been ages since we've had a good tragic love story. Whoa! First of all, I never said anything about love. And second, what's up with the tragic? Love conquers all. Look at Helen and Paris. They let anything come between them. Didn't they start the Trojan War and get thousands of people killed? Pfft, that's not the point. Follow your heart. But I don't know where it's going. My heart, I mean. She smiled sympathetically. She really was beautiful. And not just because she had a pretty face or anything. She believed in love so much, it wasn't possible not to feel giddy when she talked about it. I have no idea. I'm just lonely, I guess. Felt. Dude, they have their work cut out for them. Because Rick didn't even describe Aphrodite, bro. He couldn't. Because Aphrodite. So, like, they have their work cut out for them with casting in the Disney Plus show when they get to this point when Aphrodite finally comes in. Who are they gonna get? Isabella Merced is the only option. Isabella Merced. If you don't know who she is, look her up. What is it? She believed in love so much it was possible to feel giddy when she talked about it. Not knowing is half of the fun. Exquisitely painful, isn't it? Not being sure who you love and who loves you. Oh, you kids. It's so cute. I'm gonna cry. No, I said. Don't do that. And don't worry, she said. I'm not going to let this be easy and boring for you. No, I have some wonderful surprises in store. Anguish and decision. Oh, you just wait. That's really okay, I told her. Don't go to any trouble. You're so cute. I wish all my daughters could break the heart of a boy as nice as you. Aphrodite's eyes were tearing up. Now you'd better go. And do be careful in my husband's territory, Percy. Don't take anything. He's awfully fuzzy about his trinkets and trash. Oh, right. Yeah, I forget she's actively cheating. Aphrodite is actively a hoe. That's hilarious. But it's fine. Greek mythology. They all be doing that shit. Now you better go. Do be careful. Yeah. What? You mean Hephaestus? Oh, are we gonna meet Hephaestus' book too? But the car door opened and Ares grabbed my shoulder, pulling me out of the car back into the desert night. My audience with the goddess of love was over. You're lucky, punk. Ares pushed me away from the limo. Be grateful. For what? That we're being so nice. If it was up to me. So haven't you killed me? I shot back. Oh, I love their rivalry, man. I love it. It was a stupid thing to say to the god of war, but being around him always made me feel angry and reckless. Ares nodded, like I'd finally said something intelligent. I'd love to kill you, he said. But see, I got a situation. War on Olympus is that you might start the biggest war in history. I can't risk messing that up. Besides, Aphrodite thinks you're some kind of soap opera star or something. I kill you, that makes me look bad with her. But don't worry, I haven't forgotten my promise. Someday soon, kid. Real soon. You're going to raise your sword to fight, and you're going to remember the wrath of Ares. I balled my fists. Why wait? I beat you once. How's that ankle healing up? Dude, Percy, you gotta shut up, bro. You actually have to stop talking. You actually have to stop talking, bro. This is not good for you. This is not okay. He will... He grinned crookedly. Not bad, punk. You got nothing on the master of taunts. I'll start the fighting when I'm good and ready. Until then, get lost. He snapped his fingers, and the world did a 360, spinning in a cloud of red dust. I fell to the ground. When I stood up again, the limousine was gone. The row of the taco restaurant, the town of Gila was gone. My friends and I were standing in the middle of a junkyard. Mountains of scrap metal, scratched out in every direction. What did she want? What did she want with you? Bianca asked. Once I told them about Aphrodite. Oh, I'm not sure, I lied. She said to be careful. In her husband's junkyard. She said not to pick up anything. So in her eyes, the goddess of love would not make a special trip to tell me that. Be careful, Percy. Aphrodite has led many heroes astray. For once, I agree with Zoe. I said. You can't trust Aphrodite. Grover was looking at me funny. Being empathetic and all, he could usually read my emotions, and I got the feeling he knew exactly what Aphrodite had talked to me about. So, I said, interested in the subject, how do we get there? That way, Zoe said. That is west. How can you tell? In the light of the full moon, I was surprised how well I could see her roll her eyes at me. Ursa Major is in the north, she said, which means that must be west. She pointed west, then at the northern constellation, which was hard to make out because there were so many other stars. Oh yeah, I said, the bear thing. So he looked offended. Show some respect. It was a fine bear, a worthy opponent. You act like it was real. Bro. Do you know what world you're living in? Come on now. Guys, look, Grover broke in. We'd reached the crest of a junk mountain. crest of a junk mountain. Piles of metal objects glinted in the moonlight. Broken heads of bronze horses, metal legs from human statues, smashed chariots, tons of shields and swords, and other weapons, along with more modern stuff like cars that gleamed gold. And silver refrigerators, washing machines, and computer monitors. Whoa, Bianca said. That stuff, some of it looks like real gold. Hold on, what I missed? I love how we described her as whoever you find beautiful or attractive, taking many forms for every different person. That's really true. And I love the little seeding of Percybeth with him saying that he was talking, that she looked like Annabeth. That was really cool. I like that a lot. Percy does talk shit. Percy is multilingual. He speaks English, Greek, and talking this shit. Yep. Yep, bro. Yeah. Honestly, same. Me, I also speak talking that shit. My Greek is a little flimsy. My Greek is a little, it needs work. But shit talking, ooh, I'm fluent. I'm fluent in that bitch. Okay. That stuff looks like some of it's real gold. It is, Thalia said grimly. Like Percy said, don't touch anything. This is the junkyard of the gods. Junk, Grover picked up a beautiful crown made of gold, silver, and jewels, you dumbass. It was broken on one side, as if it had been split by an axe. You call this junk? He went off a point and began to chew. It's delicious. Are you stupid? Valius wanted the crown of his head. I'm serious. Look, Bianca said. She raced down the hill, tripping over bronze coils and golden plates. She picked up a bow that glowed silver in the moonlight. A hunter's bow! She yelped in surprise as the bow began to shrink and became a hair clip shaped like the crescent moon. It's just like Percy's sword! Zoe's face was grim. Leave it, Bianca. But it is here for a reason. Anything thrown away in this junkyard must stay in this yard. It is defective or cursed. Bianca reluctantly set the hair clip down. I don't like this place, Thalia said. She gripped the shaft of her spear. Think we're going to get attacked by killer refrigerator? I asked. She gave me a hard look. Zoe is right, Percy. Things get thrown away here for no reason. Now come on, let's get across the yard. Things get thrown away here for a reason. Now come on, yeah. That's the second time you've agreed with Zoe, I muttered, but Thalia ignored me. We started picking our way through the hills and valleys of junk. The stuff seemed to go on forever, and if it hadn't been for Ursa Major, we would have gotten lost. All the hills pretty much looked the same. I like to say that we left the stuff alone, but there was too much cool junk not to check out some of it. I found an electric guitar shaped like Apollo's lyre. That was so sweet. I had to pick it up. Grover found a broken tree made out of metal and had been chopped into pieces, but some of the branches still had golden birds in them, and they whirred around when Grover picked them up, trying to flap their wings. Finally, we saw the edge of the junkyard, about half a mile ahead of us. The lights of a highway stretching through the desert, but between us and the road... What is that? Bianca gasped. Ahead of us was a hill, much bigger and longer than the others. It was like a metal mesa, the length of a football field, and as tall as goalposts. At one end of the mesa was a row of 10 thick metal columns, wedged tightly together. Bianca frowned. They looked like toes, Grover said. Bianca nodded. Really, really large toes. Zoe and Thalia exchanged nervous looks. Let's go around, Thalia said. Far around. But the road is right over there, I protested. Quicker to climb over. I thought that said pog. Ping! Thalia hefted her spear and Zoe drew her bow. But then I realized it was only Grover. 1 second, what the fuck? Did I miss something? Quicker to climb over, okay. Thalia lifted her spear. He had thrown a piece of scrap metal at the toes and hit one, making a deep echo as if the column were hollow. Why did you do that? Zoe demanded. Grover King. I don't know. I don't like fake feet. Come on. Thalia looked at me. Around. I didn't argue. The toes were starting to freak me out, too. I mean, who sculpts 10-foot-tall metal toes, sticks them in a junkyard? If you're a Hephaestus, I'm sure you get bored and you just start making shit. After several minutes of walking, we finally stepped into the highway, an abandoned but well-lit stretch of black asphalt. We made it out, Zoe said. Thank the gods. We made it out. Thank the gods. But apparently the gods didn't want to be thanked. At that moment, I heard the sound like 1,000 trash compactors crushing metal. I whirled around, and behind us the scrap mountain was boiling, rising up. The 10 toes tilted over, and I realized why they looked like toes. They were toes. The thing that rose up from the metal was a bronze giant in a full Greek battle armor. He was impossibly tall, a skyscraper with legs and arms. He gleamed wickedly in the moonlight. He looked down at us, and his face was deformed. The light side was partially melted off. His joints creaked with rust, and across his armored chest, written in thick dust by some giant finger, were the words, "Wash me." Talos! Zoe gasped. Who's Talos? I muttered. One of Vestas' creations, Thalia said. But that can't be the original. It's too small. Or a prototype, maybe. A defective model. The metal giant didn't like the word defective. He moved one hand to his sword belt and drew his weapon. The sound of it coming out sheath was horrible. Metal screeching against metal. The blade was hundreds of feet long. Easy. It looked rusty, and it looked rusty and dull, but I didn't figure that mattered. Getting hit with that thing would be like getting hit with a battleship. Someone took something, Zoe said. Who took something? She stared accusingly at me. I shook my head. It's Grover. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a thief. Bianca didn't say anything. I could swear she looked guilty, but I didn't have much time to think about it, because the giant defective Talos took one step toward us, closing the half distance and making the ground shake. Run! Grover yelled. Great advice, except that it was hopeless. At a leisurely stroll, this thing could outdistance us. At a leisure stroll, this thing could outdistance us easily. We split up the way we'd done with the Nemean lion. Thalia drew her shield and held it up as she ran down the highway. The giant swung his sword and took out a row of power lines, which exploded in sparks and scattered across Thalia's path. Zoe's arrows whistled toward the creature's face, but good thing this came out before people were really creepy about feet. I feel like people have always been creepy about feet. I feel like it's been a whole thing. Why would she want a bow that turns into a hair clip when she can summon her bow out of nothing? This is true. I don't know. That's actually a good point. Okay, what's up? Zoe's arrow was toward the creature's face, but shattered harmlessly against the metal. Grover brayed like a baby goat and went climbing up the mountain of metal. Bianca and I ended up next to each other, hiding behind a broken chariot. You took something, I said. That bow. No, she said, but her voice was quivering. Give it back, I said. Throw it down. I didn't take the bow. Besides, it's too late. What did you take? A lot of scenes like this. I can't wait to see in this series. Yeah, this giant metal monster is gonna be cool to see in live action, man. What do you take? Before I could answer, I heard a massive creaking noise and a shadow blotted out the sky. I'm not gonna do voices anymore because my throat is already. I didn't realize my throat would hurt from doing this many voices and narrating. Well, I should have, because it's fucking obvious, but it is. So I'm not gonna do voices anymore. Before she could answer, I heard a massive creaking noise and a shadow blotted out the sky. Move! I tore down the hill. Bianca right behind me as the giant's foot smashed a crater in the ground where we'd been hiding. Hey, Talos! Grover yelled, but the monster raised his sword, looking down at Bianca and me. Grover played a quick melody on his pipes. Over at the highway, the downward power lines began to dance. I understood what Grover was going to do a split second before it happened. One of the poles with power lines still attached flew toward Talos' back leg and wrapped around his calf. The line sparked and sent a jolt of electricity up the giant's backside. Talos whirled around, creaking and sparking. Grover had bought us a few seconds. Come on, I told Bianca. But she stayed frozen. And from her pocket, she brought out a small metal figurine, a statue of a god. It was for Nico. It was the only statue we didn't have. Oh, dang, that's cool. That's so sweet, actually. How could you think of mythomagic at a time like this? I said. There were tears in her eyes. Throw it down, I said. Maybe the giant will leave us alone. She dropped it reluctantly, but nothing happened. The giant kept coming after Grover. It stabbed its sword into the junk hill, missing Grover by a few feet. But scrap metal made an avalanche over him. Then I couldn't see him anymore. Pick it up now. Might as well take it. No! Thalia yelled. She pointed her spear. And a blue arc of lightning shot out, hitting the monster in his rusty knee, which buckled. The giant collapsed, but immediately started to rise again. It was hard to tell if it could feel anything. There weren't any emotions in its half-melted face. But I got the sense that it was about to be ticked off as a 20-story tall metal warrior could be. He raised his foot to stomp, and I saw that his sole was treaded like the bottom of a sneaker. There was a hole in his heel, like a large manhole, and there were red worms painted around it, which I deciphered only after the foot came down, for maintenance only. Crazy idea, I said. Bianca looked at me nervously. Anything. God, can I stop midstream burping? That'd be pretty cool, actually. That'd be pretty neat. I told her about the maintenance hatch. There may be a way to control the thing. Switches or something. I'm going to get inside. How? You'll have to stand under its foot. You'll be crushed. Yeah, how exactly are you going to do that, Percy? Distracted, I said. I'll just have to time it right. Bianca's jaw tightened. No, I'll go. You can't. You're new at this. You'll die. It's my fault the monster came after us, she said. It's my responsibility. Here. She picked up the little god statue and pressed it into my hand. If anything happens, give that to Nico. Tell him I'm sorry. Bianca, no! But she wasn't waiting for me. She charged at the monster's left foot. Thalia had its attention for the moment. She learned that the giant was big but slow. If you could stay close to it and not get smashed, you could run around it and stay alive. At least it was working so far. Bianca got right next to the giant's foot, trying to balance herself in the metal scraps that swayed and shifted with his weight. Zoe yelled, "What are you doing?" "Get it to raise its foot," she said. Zoe shot an arrow toward the monster's face, and it flew straight into one nostril. The giant straightened and shook its head. "Hey, junk boy!" I yelled. "Down here!" I ran up to its big toe and stabbed it with Riptide. The magic blade cut a gash in its bronze. Unfortunately, my plan worked. Talos looked down at me and raised its foot to squash me like a bug. I didn't see what Bianca was doing. I had to turn and run. The foot came down about 2 inches behind me, and I was knocked into the air. I had something hard and sat up dazed. I was thrown into an Olympus air refrigerator. The monster was about to finish me off, but Grover somehow dug himself out of the junk pile. He played his pipes frantically, and his music sent another power line pull whacking against Talos' thigh. The monster turned. Grover should have run, but he must have been too exhausted from the effort of so much magic. He took 2 steps, fell, and didn't get back up. "Grover!" Thalia and I both ran toward him, but I knew it'd be too late. The monster raised his sword to smash Grover. Then he froze. Talos cocked his head to one side, like he was hearing strange new music. He started moving his arms and legs in weird ways, doing the funky chicken. Then he made a fist and punched himself in the face. "Go, Bianca!" "Let's go." She's doing a Mr. Incredible. You'll have to see it. Zoe looked horrified. "She's inside." The monster staggered around, and I realized we were still in danger. Thalia and I grabbed Grover and ran with him toward the highway. Zoe was already ahead of us. She yelled, "How will Bianca get out?" The giant hit itself in the head again and dropped his sword. A shudder ran through his whole body and staggered toward the power lines. "Look out!" I yelled, but it was too late. The giant's ankle snapped the lines, and blue flickers of electricity shot up his body. I hope the inside was 1 second. What? Hold on. I need to read that one more time. I did not imagine that. She's inside. The monster staggered around, and I realized we were still in danger. Then I grabbed Grover and ran with him toward the highway. Zoe was already ahead of us. She yelled, "How will Bianca get out?" The giant hit itself in the head and dropped his sword. A shudder ran through his whole body, and he staggered toward the power lines. "Look out!" I yelled, but it was too late. The giant's ankle snared in the lines, and blue flickers of electricity shot up his body. I hoped the inside was insulated. I had no idea what was going on in there. The giant careened back to the junkyard, and his right hand fell off, landing in the scrap metal with a horrible clang. His left arm came loose too. He was falling apart at the joints. Talos began to run. "Wait!" Zoe yelled. We ran after him. There was no way we could keep up. Pieces of the robot kept falling off, getting in our way. The giant crumbled from top down. His head, his chest, and finally his legs collapsed. When we reached the wreckage, we searched frantically, yelling Bianca's name. We crawled around in the vast hollow pieces and the legs and the head. We searched until the sun started to rise, but no luck. So we sat down and wept. I was stunned to see her cry. Damn! Bianca's not dead. She's not dead. Thalia yelled in rage and impaled her sword in the giant's smashed face. "We can keep searching," I said. "It's light now. We'll find her." "No, we won't," Grover said miserably. It happened just as it was supposed to. What are you talking about? I demanded. He looked about with big watery eyes. The prophecy. One shall be lost in the land without rain. Why hadn't I seen it? Why had I let her go inside instead of me? Here we were, in the desert, and Bianca D'Angelo was gone. Okay. Okay, so that clearly means Bianca's not dead. Because Kyron, they were like, 2 people were gonna die. Someone was gonna be killed by a parent or something like that. And Bianca and like someone was gonna be lost in the land without rain. Lost does not mean dead. I don't know why we immediately assumed it did, but it doesn't. Because Bianca's not dead. Like, she's not. She's gonna come back. This makes me wonder why Zoe would bring someone who has only been a huntress for less than a day on a quest. So dangerous they are chasing someone who was able to beat their goddess. She said that she needed time to prove herself. That's like, she was like, that's what she said. Like, you're a new hunter, you need to prove yourself, sort of thing. I mean, she's still capable. Like, she gets all the action powers, is what it looks like. And she was gonna bring another hunter originally, but she got poisoned, so Percy could go. Which is interesting. Yeah, let's talk about this chapter before we get on to the next one. But, like, it's interesting to me that was Aphrodite. That's really interesting, because it seems, right, that, like, and this is cool, and it's like, it makes sense, that all things that have to do with that god's domain they can control. So, Aphrodite is effectively controlling, or, not know so much controlling, but, like, playing with Percy and Annabeth's love story, which I think is really interesting. It's really cool. It's like, that's in that like every fight that's ever happened is Ares's, that he can basically play with it and see, like, basically, like, just, I guess, tilt the scales in whoever's favor. So he's waiting for a time when Percy really needs to win, and he's gonna fuck up his battle. And that's like, that's crazy. And he can do that too, because he's the god of war, obviously, so he can do whatever he wants. I kind of don't like, though, how Annabeth's rescue arc is being treated a little more seriously than Grover's. Because when we that was mostly about finding the fleece, and we found Grover, it was like, oh yeah, Grover's here, let's go. It wasn't like a big thing, like, yes, Grover's finally back, like it should have been. I get it, that was a more lighthearted book than this one. They get more dark as they go along. But I would have liked to see more seriousness. Attempted to Grover's, but I'm happy that we're getting that in Annabeth's. That it's like a super serious arc about, like, getting Annabeth back, and with Grover. Because I really like Grover, and I don't get enough of him, and I'm happy we have more of him here. Well, I imagine heroes, demigods are often the gods' playthings in a sense. Entertainment, if you will. Yeah, no, for sure. Completely. So it makes sense that Aphrodite, I love Aphrodite too, she's such a cool character, that she's just, like, enthralled by, like, Percy and Annabeth, and she sees, like, she feels it, because she's the goddess of love. She feels love starting to bloom, and she's like, okay, now it's time to make this more fun. Time to make this more of an epic love story. Like the stories of old in Greek myth. I love that. That's so cool. That's so dope, man. I love that a lot. Before we get into this next chapter, which is apparently, I feel like, one that you guys are excited for me to read, and I get why you guys want me to read this one. Why this one was recommended to me, because it's called I Have a Damn Problem, and damn has been spelled the way you guys have been spelling it. So, really turning a fantasy into a romance, exactly. Damn has been spelled the way you guys have been spelling it, so I'm finally gonna find out whatever this thing is, this joke is, I guess. Damn. Don't spoil shit, you bitch. Don't you dare. Anthony Belding, don't you betray me. Don't you dare betray me. You were the chosen one, Anthony. You're supposed to destroy the spoilers, not join them. Bring balance to the finding out the story the way it was intended, not leave it in darkness. Alright. Good chapter, though. Really good. I liked it. Obviously, Bianca's not dead, because I'm not stupid. But, alright. I'm curious to see what this joke better be hilarious. This better be funny as shit. Can I stop burping, please? Please, God of burps, I pray to thee. Okay, but it's not a spoiler per se, but chat knows what I mean. I'm waiting. Alright. Let's get into it. Dang, I am literally almost done with this book. This is crazy. I'm shocked that I'm honestly this far into the series. I'm shocked that I was like, I was scared that I wasn't gonna like it. And then I started reading it. I was like, nah, I really like this actually. So I'm now 3 books in. I'm most of the way through the first saga, if you will, the first series of Percy Jackson. So yeah. Let him cook now. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Chapter 14. I have a damn problem. At the end of the dump. Whoa! I don't even know how I messed that sentence up that bad. It's so good, right? Rereading it, but it's pretty good. It's pretty freaking good. I'm still waiting for it to, like, it's getting better. It's getting gradually better, but I'm still waiting for it to upswing. And that's what I feel what will happen in Battle of the Labyrinth and The Last Olympian, because I've heard nothing but fantastic things about The Last Olympian. I don't know anything about it. I've just heard that people love it. And also, I've heard Heroes of Olympus. A lot of people prefer Heroes of Olympus to the original. So I'm also excited for that. But yeah. At the edge of the dump, we found a tow truck so old it might have been thrown away itself. What? It might have been thrown away. It might have... Whatever. It might have been thrown away itself. But the engine started and it had a full tank of gas, so we decided to borrow it. Love to see it. Thalia drove. She didn't seem as stunned as Zoe or Grover or me. The skeletons are still out there, she reminded us. We need to keep moving. She navigated us through the desert, under clear blue skies. The sand so bright, it hurt to look at. Zoe sat up front with Thalia and Grover, and I sat in the pickup bed, leaning against the tow wench. The air was cool and dry, but the nice weather just seemed like an insult after losing Bianca. My hand closed around the little figurine that had cost her life. I still couldn't even tell what God was supposed to be. Nico would know. Oh gods, what was I going to tell him? I wanted to believe that Bianca was still alive somewhere, but I had a bad feeling that she was gone for good. It should have been me, I said. I should have gone into the giant. Don't say that, Grover panicked. It's bad enough. It's Hades. Based on what I know, I'm gonna guess it's Hades. Don't tell me if I'm right or not, but that's my guess. It's bad enough Annabeth is gone, and now Bianca. Do you think could stand it if do you think anybody else would be my best friend? I love Grover, man. I love Grover so much. Grover. He wiped under his eyes with an oily cloth that left his face grimy, like he had on war paint. I'm okay, but he wasn't okay. Ever since the encounter in New Mexico, whatever had happened when that wild wind blew through, he seemed really fragile, even more emotional than usual. I was ready to talk to him about it, because he might start bawling. At least there's one good thing about having a friend who gets freaked out more than you do. I realized I couldn't stay depressed. Burping. I hate it. God damn it. God damn it. I had to set aside thinking about Bianca and keep us going forward the way Thalia was doing. I wondered what she and Zoe were talking about in the front of the truck. No. It's just, the series is so fire, it's hard to put them down. And it's been so fun to see someone experience it for the first time and have conversations about it. I'm enjoying this, man. I'm enjoying these research with you guys and having these conversations. It's a lot of fun. I also love the connection to future books. Rick is really good at writing. It's cool how much things he brings back in other series, connecting the universes. Yo, Shaughnessy Feeney! I don't know how long you've been in the chat, but it's happy to see you again. I love this. Thank you. Thanks, man. I love having you here. It's great. It's Percy, the god of these hands. Yes, Percy is the god. I love that. Also, if you really like foreshadowing, maybe if you haven't already, consider checking out my favorite series of all time, One Piece. Oda is the king of foreshadowing. Oda is the king of that shit. And I really hope Rick Riordan's, once I see it all, it'll live up to that level of shit. One second. Okay. The tow truck ran out of gas at the edge of a river canyon. That was just as well because the road ended. Thalia got out and slammed the door. Immediately one of the tires blew. Great! What now? I scanned the horizon. There wasn't much to see. Desert in all directions, occasional clumps of barren mountains plopped here and there. The canyon was the only thing interesting. The river itself wasn't very big, maybe 50 yards across green water with a few rapids, but it carved a huge scar out of the desert. The rock cliffs dropped away below us. There's a path, Grover said. We could get to the river. I tried to see what he was talking about, and finally noticed a tiny ledge winding down the cliff face. That's a goat path, I asked. So? Wait, that's a goat path, I said. So? He asked. The rest of us aren't goats. Wait, hold on. Am I reading this correctly? There's a path, Grover said. We could get to the river. I tried to see what he's talking about, and finally noticed a tiny ledge winding up winding down the cliff face. That's a goat path, I said. So? He asked. The rest of us aren't goats. We can make it, Grover said. I think. Okay, cool. That made sense the second time. I thought about that. I'd done cliffs before, but I didn't like them. Then I looked over at Thalia and saw how pale she'd gotten. Her problem with heights, she'd never been able to do it. No, I said. I think we should go farther upstream. Grover said, but come on, I said. A walk won't hurt us. Unless at Thalia, her eyes said a quick thank you. The god of the sky's daughter, scared of falling. That's hilarious. We followed the river about half a mile before coming to an easier slope that led down to the water. On the shore was a canoe rental operation that was closed for the season, but I left a stack of golden drachmas on the counter and a note saying, I owe you 2 canoes. How do you even know? Whatever. You don't even know if they even know how to use that currency. We need to go upstream, Zoe said. It was the first time I'd ever heard her speak since the junkyard. And I was worried about how bad she sounded, like somebody with the flu. The rapids are too swift. Leave that to me. We put the canoes in the water. Is Zoe sick? What's happening? Oh yeah. Done. Oh yeah. Leave that to him. Water go crazy. Bro, if Nico and Bianca started reading One Piece when they entered the hotel 7 years later, they wouldn't have finished it. Shut up. No, they would have been done. They would have been done like 2 weeks. Eric wrote 2 books about Percy retelling the stories of Greek heroes, and God, they were hilarious and fun. I saw those in the bookstore, and I was thinking about getting them after I finished all the other Percy stuff. I thought that'd be just really fun to see Percy talk about Greek mythology, and I'd get to learn more Greek mythology because I know some vague mythology stuff, and I'm learning other stories through here. But like to just directly know Greek stories, I think would be really cool. 1 second. Thalia pulled me aside as we were getting the oars. Thanks for back there. Don't mention it. Can you really? She nodded the rapids. You know. I think so. Usually I'm good with water. Would you take Zoe? She asked. I think maybe you can talk to her. She's not going to like that. Please. I don't know if I can stand being in the same boat with her. She's starting to worry me. Oh yeah, Zoe's the only huntress on the thing now. Because her homie and Bianca are gone. She's just with 3 Camp Half-Bloodians. It was about the last thing I wanted to do. But I nodded. Dahlia's shoulders relaxed. I owe you 1. 2. 1.5, Thalia said. She smiled, and for a second, I remember that I actually liked her when she wasn't yelling at me. She turned and helped Grover get their canoe in the water. As it turned out, I didn't even need to control the currents. As soon as we got in the river, I looked over the edge of the boat and found a couple of naiads staring at me. They looked like regular teenage girls, the kind you'd seen in any mall. Except for the fact that they were underwater. Hey, I said. They made a bubbling sound, and it may have been giggling. I wasn't sure. I had a hard time understanding naiads. We're heading upstream, I told them. Do you think you could? Before I could even finish, the Naiads each chose a canoe and began pushing us up the river. We started so fast, Gore fell into his canoe with his hooves sticking up in the air. I hate Naiads, Zoe grumbled. The Naiads all have a crush on Percy, and I love that. I love that so much. A stream of water squirted up from the back of the boat and hit Zoe in the face. She-devils. Zoe went for a bow. Whoa, I said. They're just playing. Cursed water spirits. They've never forgiven me. Forgiven you for what? She slung her bow back over her shoulder. It was a long time ago. Never mind. Why did I lose that? There we go. We sped up the river, the cliffs looming up on either side of us. What happened to Bianca? What happened to Bianca wasn't your fault, I told her. It was my fault. I let her go. I figured this would give Zoe an excuse to start yelling at me. At least that might shake her out of feeling depressed. Instead, her shoulders slumped. No, Percy. I pushed her into going on this quest. I was too anxious. She was a powerful half-blood. She had a kind heart as well. I thought she could be the next lieutenant. But you're the lieutenant. She gripped the strap of her quiver. She looked more tired than I'd ever seen her. That thing can last forever, Percy. Over 2,000 years I have led the hunt, and my wisdom has not improved. No, Artemis herself is in danger. Look, you can't blame yourself for that. If I had insisted on going with her, you think you could have fought something that powerful? Enough to kidnap Artemis? There's nothing you could have done. Zoe didn't answer. The cliffs along the river were getting taller. Long shadows fell across the water, making it a lot colder, even though the day was bright. Without thinking about it, I took Riptide out of my pocket. Zoe looked at the pen, and her expression was pained. You made this, I said. Oof. This is about to be good. Who told thee? I had a dream about it. She studied me. I was sure she was going to call me crazy, but she just sighed. It was a gift. And a mistake. Who is the hero? I asked. Zoe shook her head. Do not make me say his name. I swore to never speak it again. You act like I should know him. I am sure you do, hero. Don't all boys want to be just like him? Herc? That's the only one I can think of. He's the most popular Greek hero. Hercules. Or Achilles, maybe, but... Her voice was so bitter. I decided not to ask what she meant. I looked down at Riptide, and for the first time I wondered if it was cursed. Your mother was a water goddess, I asked. Yes. Pleione. She had 5 daughters. My sister and I. The Hesperides. Those were the girls who lived in a garden at the edge of the west, with a golden apple tree and dragon guardian. Alright, now I gotta read all your shit. Hold on a second. Bro, Percy has been so patient with Thalia. She has no chill with him. This is true. Thalia is always getting on some shit. I'm so sorry, but I gotta go. I'll come back and watch the video when the stream is saved as a video. Enjoy the book. No worries. Dash points always have to have you, man. If you're still in here, see ya. Percy's insisting on these awkward ass conversations. Listen, I'm just as Percy is nosy, and me too. We gotta know, and he really has to know, because this is like lore, world-defining stuff he isn't part of. Asking Thalia about her mom and greatest fear, and then asking Zoe about her past. Yeah, he needs to know. He needs to know these things. Yes, Zoe was fully laden. But weren't there only 4 sisters? There are now. I was exiled, forgotten, blotted out as if I never existed. Why? So I pointed to my pen, because I betrayed my family, and helped a hero. You won't find that in the legend either. He never spoke of me. After his direct assault on Layden failed, I gave him the idea of how to steal the apples, how to trick my father, but he took all the credit. But Hercules? But gurgle, the Naiad spoke in my mind. The canoe was slowing down. I looked ahead, and I saw why. This was as far as they could take us. There was blocked. A dam the size of a football field stood in our path. Hoover Dam, Thalia said. It's huge. Percy's every main character is an RPG, exhausting all the dialogue before continuing the story. Facts. Facts. That's so true. Also, it's really interesting to me that Rick he's tweaking Greek mythology a little bit. Usually he just deals with the after, right? The after, and like all the stuff that happened is still canon to Greek mythology. All the stuff is like nothing has changed from that. At least that I've noticed so far. Like all the gods are still there, all the everything, and it's still like the same. They're just placed in modern day scenarios and giving modern day personalities. But in this bit, he's adding something to the legend, which I think is kind of cool and makes the lore even something of his own. That's really cool. We stood at the river's edge, looking up at the curve of concrete that loomed between the cliffs. People were walking along the top of the dam. They were so tiny they looked like fleas. The Naiads had left with a lot of grumbling, not in the words I could understand, but it was obvious they hated this dam blocking up their nice river. Our canoes floated back downstream, swirling in the wake from the dam's discharge vents, several hundred feet tall, I said, built in the 1930s. 5 million cubic acres of water, Thalia said. Grover sighed. Largest construction project in the United States. Zoe stared at us. How do you know all that? Annabeth, I said. She liked architecture. That's so cool. Annabeth has just talked about the Hoover Dam on enough occasions for them to know all these things. She was nuts about monuments, Thalia said. Spouted facts all the time. Grover said, so annoying. Oh, I love that. I wish you were here, I said. The others nodded. Zoe was still looking at us strangely, but didn't care. But I didn't care. It seemed like cruel fate that we come to Hoover Dam, one of Anna's personal favorites, and she wasn't here to see it. We should go up there, I said, for her sake. Just say we've been. You are mad, Zoe decided. But that's where the road is. She pointed to the huge parking garage next to the top of the dam. And so, sightseeing it is. We had to walk for almost an hour before we found a path that led up to the road. It came to the east side of the river, then we straggled back toward the dam. It was cold and windy on top. On one side, a big lake spread out, ringed by barren desert. On the other side, the dam dropped away like the world's most dangerous skateboard ramp, down to the river, several hundred feet below, in water that churned from the dam vents. Thalia walked in the middle of the road, far away from the edges. Grover kept sniffling the wind and looking nervous. He didn't say anything, but I knew he smelled monsters. How close are they? He shook his head. Maybe not close. The wind of the dam there's it all around us. The scent can probably carry for miles, but it's coming from several directions. I don't like that. I didn't either. It was already Wednesday, only 2 days until the winter solstice. We still had a long way to go. We didn't need any more monsters. There's a snack bar in the visitor center, Thalia said. You been here before? I asked. Once, to see the Guardians. She pointed to the far end of the dam, carved into the side of the cliff. It was a little plaza with 2 big bronze statues. They looked kind of like Oscar statues with wings. They were dedicated to Zeus when the dam was built, Thalia said. A gift from Athena. Tourists were clustered all around them, seemed to be looking at the statue's feet. What are they doing? I said, rubbing their toes. Thalia said, I think it's good luck. Why? She shook her head. Mortals get crazy ideas. They don't know the statues are sacred to Zeus, but they know there's something special about them. When you were here last, did they talk to you or anything? Bella's expression darkened. I could tell that she'd come here before, hoping for exactly that. Some kind of sign from her dad, some connection. No, they don't do anything. They're just big metal statues. Damn, I finally got the YouTube message that you were streaming. Damn. Shut the hell up, it's funny. That's crazy though. That's a late ass message. Now I know that YouTube does that. That's good to know. I thought about the last big metal statue we'd run into. That hadn't gone so well, but I decided not to bring it up. Let us find the damn snack bar, Zoe said. We should eat what we can. Grover cracked a smile. The damn snack bar. Get the fuck out of my chat right now. Get the fuck. This is. Get the fuck out of here. That's the whole joke. That's the. Nah, stream's over. This is the end of the stream. There's no way that's the whole joke. I hate and I love that. I hate that shit. Nope. Stream's over. What the? That's so stupid. I hate everything about that. Oh my. I can't stand you guys, bro. Percy Jackson fans getting on my. This damn joke is so bad. I love it. Oh, that's so great. Let's find the damn snack bar. We should eat while we can. Grover cracked a smile. The damn snack bar. Zoe blinked. Yes. What is funny? Nothing, Grover said, trying to keep a straight face. I could use some damn French fries. Even Thalia smiled. And I need to use the damn restroom. I hate you guys. The most 13-year-old joke ever. Yes, I made the exact same joke when I was 13. I made the joke. It wasn't funny then. My word. Hold on. 1 second. There's something very important I need to do. Give me 1 second. This is... You'll see what I'm doing in a second. This is very important. Alright. There we go. If it's updated, look at the stream title and you'll see it. Maybe it was the fact that we were so tired and strung out emotionally, but I started cracking up. and Thalia and Grover joined in. Well, Zoe just looked at us. I do not understand. I want to use the damn water fountain, Grover said. And Thalia tried to catch her breath. I want to buy a damn t-shirt. I busted up and probably would have kept laughing all day, but then I heard a noise. Moo. I hate you guys so much. I hate you guys so much. A smile melted off my face. I wondered if the noise was just in my head, but Grover had stopped laughing too. He was looking around and confused. Did I just hear a cow? A damn cow? No, Grover said. I'm serious. Just goes to show Rick clearly knew his audience. The community is still making this joke over 17 years later. Dude, like, the insight that Rick... I mean, he was 13 once, obviously. But the insight that Rick has into, like, millennial, Gen Z, 13-year-old, like, humor is, like, unparalleled. It's, like, he was probably the best teacher ever, bro. So peak. Imagine taking this guy... like a year, like imagine being in his class a year before he wrote this book. A year before. That'd be crazy. Like that'd be like, dude, he was that. Yeah, this humor is like is perfect for this age, for my age, because I don't grow up mentally speaking. I'm still 13 years old. Zoe listened. I hear nothing. Thalia was looking at me. Percy, are you okay? Yeah, I said. You guys go ahead. I'll be right in. What's wrong, Grover asked. Nothing, I said. I just need a minute to think. They hesitated, but I guess I must have looked upset because they finally went to the visitor center without me. As soon as they were gone, I walked to the north edge of the dam and looked over. Moo! She was about 30 feet below in the lake, but I could see her clearly. My friend from Long Island. That's where that's coming in. I was like, where's that gonna come back? Bessie the cow serpent. I looked around. There were a group of kids running along the dam. A lot of senior citizens, some families, but nobody seemed to be paying attention. paying Bessie any attention. What are you doing here? I asked her. Moo. Her voice is urgent. Like she was trying to warn me of something. How did you get here? I asked. You're thousands of miles from Long Island, hundreds of miles inland. There was no way she could have swum all the way here, and yet here she was. Bessie swam in a circle and butted her head against the side of the dam. Moo. She's not going to say anything else, Percy. You can't understand her. She's not a horse. It definitely helped that she was teaching kids at this age when he was writing this book. Honestly, yeah. It's great. It's peak. She wanted me to come with her. She was telling me to hurry. I can't, I told her. My friends are inside. She looked at me with her sad brown eyes. Then she gave one more urgent moo, did a flip, and disappeared into the water. I hesitated. Something was wrong. She was trying to tell me that. I considered jumping over the side and following her, but then I tensed. The hairs of my arms bristled. I looked over the dam road. I looked down the dam road. Shut up. And to the east, and I saw two men walking slowly toward me. They wore gray camouflage outfits that flickered over skeletal bodies. They passed through a group of kids and pushed them aside. A kid yelled, "Hey!" One of the warriors turned his face chin momentarily into a skull. "Ah!" the kid yelled, and his whole group backed away. I ran for the visitor center. Oh shit. I was almost to the stairs when I heard the tires squeal on the west side of the dam. A black van swerved to a stop in the middle of the road, nearly plowing into some old people. The van doors opened and more skeleton warriors piled out. I was surrounded. I bolted down the stairs into the museum entrance. The security guard at the metal detector yelled, "Hey kid!" But I didn't stop. I ran through the exhibits and ducked behind a tour group. I looked for friends, but I couldn't see them anywhere. Where was the damn snack bar? "Stop!" the metal detector guy yelled. There was no place to go but into the elevator with the tour group. I ducked inside just as the door closed. "We'll be going down 700 feet," our tour guide said cheerfully. She was a park ranger with long black hair pulled back in a ponytail and tinted glasses. I guess she hadn't noticed that I was being chased. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, the elevator hardly ever breaks. "Let's go to the snack bar," I asked her. A few people behind me chuckled. The tour guide looked at me. Something about her gaze made my skin tingle. "To the turbines, young man," the lady said. "Weren't you listening to my fascinating presentation upstairs?" "Oh, sure. Is there another way out of the dam?" "It's a dead end," the tourist behind me said. "For heaven's sake, the only way out is the other elevator." The doors opened. "Go right ahead, folks." The tour guide told us another ranger is waiting for you at the end of the corridor. I didn't have much choice but to go out with the group. "And young man," the tour guide called. I looked back. She'd taken off her glasses. Her eyes were startlingly gray, like storm clouds. There's always a way out for those clever enough to find it. Who are you? Anytime Rick describes anyone as more than a person, I am like, who are you? What god are you? Who are you? The doors closed with the tour guide still inside, leaving me alone. Before I could think too much about the woman in the elevator, a ding came from around the corner. The second elevator was opening, and I heard an unmistakable sound, the clattering of skeletal teeth. I ran after the tour group through a tunnel carved out of solid rock. The goddess of tours. It seemed to run forever. The walls were moist and the air hummed with electricity and the roar of water. I came out on a U-shaped balcony that overlooked this huge warehouse. 50 feet below, enormous turbines were running. It was a big room, but I didn't see any other exit, unless I wanted to jump into the turbines and got churned up to make electricity. I didn't. Another tour guide was talking over the microphone, telling the tourists about water supplies in Nevada. I prayed that Thalia, Zoe, and Grover were okay. They might clearly be captured or eating at the snack bar, completely unaware that we were being surrounded. And stupid me. I had trapped myself in a hole hundreds of feet below the surface. I worked my way around the crowd, trying not to be too obvious about it. There was a hallway at the other side of the balcony, maybe someplace I could hide. I kept my hand on Riptide, ready to strike. I Lacrymos. But by the time I got to the opposite side of the balcony, my nerves were shot. I backed into the little hallway and watched the tunnel I'd come from. Then right behind me, I heard a sharp shh. like the voice of a skeleton. Without thinking, I uncapped Riptide and spun, slashing my sword. The girl I just tried to slice in half yelped and dropped her curly necks. Oh my god, she shouted. Do you always kill people when they blow their nose? The first thing that went through my head was that the sword hadn't hurt her. And I passed clean through her body, harmlessly. You're mortal. She looked at me in disbelief. What's that supposed to mean? Of course I'm mortal. How did you get that sword past security? I didn't. Wait, you can see it's a sword? She's a seer. I only know about that because of the show. I know that's not a thing that gets revealed until, I guess, apparently this book. The girl with her eyes, which were green like mine. She had frizzy reddish-brown hair. Her nose was also red, like she had a cold. She wore a big maroon Harvard sweatshirt and jeans that were covered with marker stains and little holes. And she spent her time poking them with a fork. Well, it's either a sword or the biggest toothpick in the world, she said. And why didn't it hurt me? I mean, not that I'm complaining. Who are you? Whoa, what is that you're wearing? Is that made of lion fur? She asked so many questions so fast, it was like she was throwing rocks at me. I couldn't think of what to say. I looked at my sleeve to see if the Nemean lion pelt had somehow changed back into fur. But it looked like a brown winter coat to me. I know the skeletal warriors were still chasing me. I had no time to waste, but I just stared at the redheaded girl. Then I remembered that what Thalia had done at Westover Hall to fool teachers. Maybe I could manipulate the mist. I concentrated hard, snapped my fingers. You don't see a sword, I told the girl. It's just a ballpoint pen. She blinked. No, it's a sword, weirdo. Who are you? I demanded. I love that you can clearly see Star Wars inferences in this. Like, Rick is clearly a fan of Star Wars, as is probably everybody in the world, especially people his age. Because manipulating the mist is literally a Jedi mind trick. And may the gods be with you is literally just may the Force be with you. That's literally what that is. She huffed indignantly. Rachel Elizabeth Dare. Now are you going to answer my questions, or should I scream for security? No, I said. I mean, I'm kind of in a hurry. I'm in trouble. In a hurry or in trouble? I'm sort of both. She looked over my shoulder and her eyes widened. Bathroom? What? Bathroom behind me now. Is Elizabeth going to be a mainstay character? Because I've been kind of wanting a seer to be a character that's like in the story and with battles and stuff. Because I think that'd be really freaking cool. Don't tell me, obviously. That's just me talking out loud. Again. I don't know why, but I listened to her. I slipped inside the boys' bathroom and left Rachel Elizabeth Dare standing outside. Later that seemed cowardly to me. I'm also pretty sure it saved my life. I heard the clattering and of the skeleton as they came closer. My grip tightened on Riptide. What was I thinking? I left a mortal girl out there to die. I was prepared to burst out and fight when Rachel Elizabeth Dare started talking in the rapid-fire machine gun way of hers. Oh my god! Did you see that kid? It's about time you got here. He tried to kill me. He had a sword, for God's sakes. The security guys ought to start swinging lunatic inside a national landmark. I mean, jeez. He ran that way toward those turbine thingies. I think he went over the side or something. Maybe he fell. Maybe the skeletons clattered excitingly. I heard them moving off. Rachel opened the door. All clear, but you better hurry. She looked shaken. Her face was gray and sweaty. I peeked around the corner. The skeleton warriors were running toward the other end of the balcony. The way to the elevator was clear for a few seconds. I hear you one, Rachel Elizabeth Dare. What are those things, she asked. They looked like skeletons. She nodded uneasily. Just do yourself a favor, I said. Forget it. Forget you ever saw me. Forget you tried to kill me? Yeah, that too. But who are you? Percy, I started to say. The skeleton started to turn around. Gotta go. What kind of name is Percy? Gotta go. I bolted for the exit. No, I wanted to come back. Please, Rachel Elizabeth Dare. Why do you have a name if you're only going to be a character for this page? She's probably going to come back. I hope she's going to come back. She wouldn't give her a name if... The cafe was packed with kids enjoying the best part of the tour, the damn lunch. Thalia, Zoe, and Grover were just sitting down with their food. Waiting to leave, I gasped. Now. But we just got our burritos, Thalia said. So we stood up, muttering an ancient Greek curse. He's right. Look. The cafe windows wrapped all around the observation floor, which gave us a beautiful panoramic view of the skeleton army that had come to kill us. I counted two on the east side of the damn road, blocking the way to Arizona. 3 more on the west side guarding Nevada. All of them were armed with batons and pistols. But our immediate problem was a lot closer. The 3 skeletal warriors who had been chasing me in the turbine room now appeared on the stairs. They saw me from across the cafeteria and clattered their teeth. Elevator, Grover said. We bolted that direction. But the doors opened with a pleasant ding, and 3 more warriors stepped out. Every warrior was accounted for, minus that one Bianca blasted the flames in New Mexico. We were completely surrounded. Then Grover had a brilliant burrito fight. Hold on. Alright, hold on. Hold on. Alright, am I back? How long was I gone for? How long was I gone for? What do you mean we have a seer? What do you mean? We have a seer. He sees through the lies of the gods. Yeah, Percy does. This is true. This is true. He does do that. But also, my Ethernet cable popped up for just a second. I didn't notice it until it said, okay, like a few seconds. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Good. So I was like, I don't know how long. I didn't notice my Ethernet cable, but I noticed soon enough to click it in before the stream ended. Sometimes my Ethernet cable pops out and I gotta flick it back in. But we're good? Alright, we're good. Let's go. Anyways, as Grover was saying, burrito fight. He yelled and flung his guacamole grande at the nearest skeleton. Now, if you have never been hit by a flying burrito, count yourself lucky. In terms of deadly projectiles, it's right up there with grenades and cannonballs. Grover's lunge hit the skeletons and knocked his skull clean off his shoulders. I'm not sure what the other kids in the cafe saw, but they went crazy and started throwing burritos in baskets of chips and sodas at each other, shrieking and screaming. The skeletons tried to aim their guns, but it was hopeless. Bodies and food and drinks were flying everywhere. In the chaos, Thalia and I tackled the other 2 skeletons on the stairs and sent them flying into the condiment table. Then we all raced downstairs. Guacamole grandes whizzing past our heads. What now? Grover asked. We burst outside. I didn't have an answer. Grover asked as we burst outside. I didn't have an answer. The warriors on the road were closing in from either direction. God damn it. We ran across the street to the pavilion with winged bronze statues, but that just put our backs to the mountain. God fucking. Anyways. The skeletons moved forward, forming a crescent around us. Their brethren from the cafe were running up to join them. One was still putting its skull back on its shoulders. Another was covered in ketchup and mustard. 2 more had burritos lodged in their rib cages. They didn't look happy about it. They drew batons and advanced. 4 against 11, Zolia muttered, and they cannot die. It's been nice venturing with you guys, Grover said, his voice trembling. Something shiny caught the corner of my eye. I glanced behind me at the statue's feet. Oh, I said, your toes really are bright. Percy, Thalia said, this isn't the time. But I couldn't help staring at the 2 giant bronze guys with tall bladed wings. I couldn't help staring at the 2 giant bronze guys with tall bladed wings like openers. They were weathered brown except for their toes, which shone like new pennies. From all the times people had rubbed them for good luck. Good luck, the blessing of Zeus. I thought about the tour guide in the elevator. Her gray eyes and her smile. What had she said? There was always a way for those clever enough to find it. Hold on. Okay. Thalia said, pray to your dad. She grinned at me. He never answers. Just this once, I pleaded. Ask for help. I think the statues can give us some luck. 6 skeletons raised their guns. They're their campers. By the way, Percy can deflect bullets. I didn't remember that until he just said guns. Percy can freaking deflect bullets. What the fuck? Anyways, just wanted to remind you guys of that. Just in case you forgot that he can deflect freaking bullets. Anyways, skeletons raised their guns. The other 5 came forward with batons, 50 feet away, 40 feet. do it, I yelled. No, Thalia, he won't answer. This time is different. Who says? I hesitated. Athena, I think. Thalia scowled like she was sure I'd gone crazy. Try it, Grover pleaded. Thalia closed her eyes. Her lips moved in a silent prayer. I put in my own prayer to Annabeth's mom, hoping I was right. That had been her in that elevator. No way! That was Athena? What? Athena just be giving guides to tours and shit? She's trying to help us save her daughter. Oh, what? The skeletons closed in. I raised Riptide to defend myself. Thalia held up her shield. Zoe pushed Grover behind me. Zoe pushed Grover behind her and aimed an arrow at the skeleton's head. A shadow fell over me. I thought maybe it was a shadow of death, but I realized it was a shadow of an enormous wing. The skeleton's wing. The skeleton looked up too late. A flash of bronze and nullified baton wielders were swept aside. The other skeletons opened fire. I raised my lion coat for protection, but I didn't need it. The bronze angels stepped in front of us and folded their wings like shields. Bullets pinged off of them like rain off of a corrugated roof. Both angels slashed outward and the skeletons went flying across the road. Man, it feels good to stand up, the first angel said. His voice sounded tiny and rusty, like he hadn't had a drink since he'd been built. Will you look at my toes, the other said. Holy Zeus, what were those tourists thinking? As stunned as I was by the angels, I was more concerned with those skeletons. A few of them were getting up again, resembling bony hands groping their weapons. Trouble, I said? Get us out of here! Thalia yelled. Both angels looked down at her. Zeus's kid. Zeus's kid. Yes! Can I get a please, Miss Zeus's kid? Angel asked, please? The angels looked at each other and shrugged. Could use a stretch, one decided. And the next thing I knew, one of them grabbed Thalia and me, and the other grabbed Zoe and Grover, and we flew straight up over the dam and the river, and the skeleton warriors shrinking to tiny specks below us, the sound of gunfire echoing off the sides of mountains. Dang. These chapters have been long as shit, I'm not even gonna lie to you. But, dude. Annabeth's freaking mom, dude. I did not think we were gonna get an Athena introduction like that. But I love that. I was like, when are we finally gonna meet Athena? It's been 3 books, we haven't met Athena yet. We've met Hermes, we met Ares, we met all the others except for, like, all the other ones are the main cast, you know? We haven't met Athena, and here we are. That was a dope introduction for Athena. I freaking loved that. That was so cool. The damn joke. It accurately met my expectations, I feel. Like, it was like, yeah, this feels about right for Percy Jackson. This feels about right for Percy Jackson, the fandom. With the lion pelt not big enough for all 4 of them. What do you mean we have a... Yeah, lion pelt is not big enough for all 4 of them. No way. But alright. Mostly, the big takeaway is the joke is about a dam. The joke is now in the freaking title. We met Athena. That was sick. Thalia's prayers worked. Burrito fight. Also, Bessie. I wonder when Bessie's probably gonna come back again. I forgot about it. And I was like, when is this? What is important about this? But apparently Bessie's gonna come back again. I mean, obviously she would, because she wouldn't just come back for that one time and never show up again. I think Rick's too smart of a writer for that. Not to do that dumbass shit. You know what I mean? Remember, there are literally dozens of kids shoved into Hermes' cabin because their parents won't claim them. But Percy's out here meeting everyone's parents. I know. That's so bitch made, bro. That's so... I don't know what you expected, but yeah, the joke is so Percy... Listen, I don't know. I didn't know what I expected either. I didn't expect, like... I was just expecting, like, a funny joke, you know? And mind you, it was funny. But it was funny in the juvenile sense that Percy Jackson is. So, I feel like this fits. This is the best. I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed at all. It's just good. This is just good. Yeah. They should fucking stop being lazy and claim that shit, bro. Just claim your freaking kids, man. At least they know. You know what I mean? I hope that's a thing that happens. At least in Last Olympiad. That'd be such an epic moment if all the kids got claimed who didn't get claimed like before the final battle or something. That'd be sick. But all right. Ooh, water. So my throat hurts. And then we will read this, and then I will shut up for a long time because ooh, reading and talking is a lot of work. I pity teachers, man. Their throat muscles must be freaking insane. Teachers and people have to talk all the time. This is true. That would require them to be good parents. Some of them aren't. Mainly Poseidon. But that's besides the point. Kudos to you. Reading out loud takes a lot out of me, especially for as long as you have been. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I now have more respect for teachers and everybody who talks for long ass periods of time. Because I did not know talking just like over it, or people who read audiobooks out loud. Like people who record audiobooks. That shit definitely hurts. But I don't know, it's fun. So I'm not even mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Right. I'm still amazed at how far I am into this book. I'm probably far enough in that I can read the synopsis, but I'm just not going to do it to the end just in case. The chapter is 20 pages? Okay. Give me a second. This is going to take a little bit. Hold on, how long were the other chapters? Let's see. About 15. About 20. That one was 21. To be fair, Poseidon has 2 kids to worry about, but Hermes has like 30. Listen, if they're all your kids, bro, just claim them. Just claim them. I'm sure it's not a lot of work, you know what I mean? Just claim them. And you know. Also, not all those kids are Hermes' kids. You know what I mean? Like, they're not all his kids. Some of them are like probably Ares's. I'm sure you could tell. I'm sure there are other ways. You can like do tests. Like, are you good at making shit? Hephaestus. Are you good at bow and arrow? Apollo. Are you good at fighting? Ares. You know what I mean? Like, there's not. I'm sure there's. It's pretty easy to figure it out. Also, Poseidon has more than 2 kids. Poseidon has every single Cyclops that exists. Is his kid. I feel like they remember. They just don't feel like claiming them. I feel like it's not a matter of knowing. I feel like you just know who your kid is if you're a god. You know what I mean? But you don't have... But especially if they're at Camp Half-Blood, like, you would know, right? Like, it's not like the gods don't know. That's not what they're claiming, though. I think they just don't feel like doing that shit. Man. I hope Blackjack comes back. He's on the cover. I really think he's gonna come back. He's literally on the cover. Also, I still don't know what the Titan's curse is. Sorry, I was at my cousin's basketball game. Hey yo, let's go! Matson Muir is here. You'll love to see it. And also, no worries, man. It's always nice to have you in the chat at any time. Also, I don't know if I just misread that part, but I don't know what the Titan's curse is yet. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but I don't know what it is. But I hope we get to find out. I'm gonna like sit in silence for like 30 seconds. It's like they don't bother to claim their kid. They know they exist, but don't care enough to just acknowledge them as their child. Yeah, it's exactly that. It is exactly that. Thank you. Alright. I'm gonna sit in silence for like 30 seconds, and then we're gonna start reading. Can you guys hear that music? I really hope you can, or else I'm looking really stupid right now. Turn it up a little bit. Okay. Yes. Also, he didn't want to kill Polyphemus precisely because he was his half-brother. Like, that's the only reason this lo-fi has a vibe. Thank you, man. It's, my friend actually made this theme for me. So this is my own freaking theme song for the channel. Alright. But yeah, that's the only reason why Polyphemus is still alive. Is because Percy didn't want to kill his own brother. Okay, dope. Let me turn it back down then. Okay, cool. Alright. Let's get to this chapter. Bonnie, you say it's badass? Let's go, I believe you. Let's get it. Final chapter for the day. And then I only get to get 3 more chapters to read by myself. Like, hold on. 16, 17. 2 chapters to read by myself. And then I'll probably just be back here tomorrow to finish out the book with you guys. Alright. What I like is all these mysteries can be solved with knowledge of Greek mythology. That's pretty cool. That's honestly why I didn't want to brush up, because I was honestly thinking of brushing up on Greek mythology before I read these books, but I was like, it probably makes these books more mysterious if you don't know, so I just chose not to. Alright. Let's get into it. I wrestle Santa's evil twin. Tell me when it's over, Thalia said. Her eyes were shut tight. A statue was holding on to us so we couldn't fall. But Thalia clutched his arm like it was the most important thing in the world. Everything's fine, I promised. Are we very high? Look down below us. A range of snowy mountains zipped by. I stretched out my foot and kicked snow off one of the peaks. Nah, I said. Not that high. We are in the Sierras, Zoe yelled. She and Gopher were hanging from the arms of the statue. I have hunted here before. At this speed, we should be in San Francisco in a few hours. Hey, Frisco, our angel said. Yo, Chuck, we can visit those guys in the Mechanics Monument again. They know how to party. The other statue's name is Chuck. I love that. Oh man, the other angel said. I am so there. You guys have visited San Francisco? I asked. We automatons gotta have some fun once in a while, right? Our statue said. Those mechanics took us over to the D. Young Museum and introduced us to the Marble Lady statue. See, and Hank, the statue Chuck cut in. They're kids, man. That's so good. Oh right, if bronze statues could blush, I swear Hank did. Back to flying. We sped up so I could tell the angels were excited. The mountains fell away into the hills, and then we were zipping along farmland in towns and highways. Grover played his pipes to pass the time. Zoe got bored and started shooting arrows at random billboards. As we flew by, every time she saw a Target department store, and we passed dozens of them. Let me read that again so I can process it. Grover played his pipes to pass his time. Zoe got bored and started shooting arrows at random billboards as we flew by. Every time she saw a Target department store. And that's cool, actually. We passed dozens of them. She would peg the store's sides with bullseyes at 100 miles an hour. Thalia kept her eyes closed the whole way. She muttered to herself a lot, like she was praying. You did good back there, I said. Zeus listened. It was hard to tell what she was thinking, with her eyes closed. Maybe, she said, how did you get away? Or maybe, she said, how did you get away from the skeleton generator room anyway? You said they cornered you. I told her about this weird mortal girl, Rachel Elizabeth Dare. Please have her come back. Who seemed to be able to see right through the mist. I thought Thalia was going to call me crazy, but she just nodded. Some mortals like that. She said, nobody knows why. Suddenly, I flashed on something I'd never considered. My mom was like that. She'd seen the Minotaur on Half-Blood Hill and known exactly what it was. She hadn't been surprised at all last year when I told my friend Tyson was really a Cyclops. Maybe she'd known all along. No wonder she'd been so scared for me as I was growing up. She saw through the mist even better than I did. Well, the girl was annoying, I said. But I'm glad I didn't vaporize her. That would have been bad. Thalia nodded. It must be nice to be a regular mortal. She said that as if she'd gotten a lot. She said that as if she'd given a lot of thought. Well, chapter 17 is where the action happens. I hope that's not a spoiler, but I definitely think you should read that one on stream. Yeah, the only chapter with the read. Yeah, the only problem with reading the last 3 chapters of the book is that we miss most of the action. But we get all the resolution. I see. Fine. I will read only chapter 16 by myself, and I will come back on for 17 through 20. It will hurt my throat, but I will do it. It'll be fine. No, Bonnie, you're fine. I really like how you described that, just saying how most of the action happens. Just so, we're good. We're chill. Thank you for that. If you could continue to describe things like that when I need to know them from now on, muy appreciated. Where you guys want to land? Hank asked, waking me up from a nap. I looked down and said, whoa, I'd seen San Francisco in pictures before, but never seen it in real life. It was probably the most beautiful city I'd ever seen. Kind of like a smaller, cleaner Manhattan. If Manhattan had been surrounded by green hills and fog. There was a huge bay and ships and islands and sailboats and the Golden Gate Bridge sticking up out of the fog. I felt like I should take a picture or something. Greetings from Frisco. Haven't died yet. Wish you were here. There, Zoe suggested, by the Embarcadero building. Good thinking, Chuck said. Me and Hank can blend in with the pigeons. We all looked at him. Kidding, he said. She can't say there was humor. As it turned out, there wasn't much need to blend in. It was early morning, and not many people were around. We freaked out a homeless guy in the fairy duck when we landed. He screamed when he saw Hank and Chuck, and ran off yelling something about metal angels from Mars. We said our goodbyes to the angels, who flew off to party with their statue friends. That's when I realized I had no idea what we were going to do next. We'd made it to the west coast. Artemis was here somewhere. Annabeth too. I hoped, but I had no idea how to find them. And tomorrow was the winter solstice. Nor did I have any clue what monster Artemis had been hunting. It was supposed to find us on the quest. It was supposed to show the trail, but it never had. Now we were stuck on the ferry dock, with not much money, no friends, and no luck. After a brief discussion, we agreed that we needed to figure out what this mystery monster was. But how? I asked. Nereus, Grover said. I looked at him. What? Isn't that what Apollo told you to do? Find Nereus? I nodded. I had completely forgotten my last conversation with the sun god. The old man of the sea, I remembered. I was supposed to find him and force him to tell us what he knows. But how do I find him? Zoe made a face. Old man Nereus, eh? Old Nereus, eh? You know him? Thalia asked. My mother was a sea goddess. Yes, I know him. Nah, dude, my voice is like not. I'm not like losing my voice. Like, what's it? But my vocal cords aren't like gripping or anything like that. It's just kind of sore talking a lot, but it's not like a big deal. Like it's not like an issue. Like if I just shut up, I don't like for like 20 minutes, I'll be fine. And if not, then I'll just be like fine like tomorrow. Like even when like the last stream, my voice wasn't sore. Like after that, I completely forgot about it. So yeah, I'll be fine. Trust. Unfortunately, he is never very hard to find. Just follow the smell. What do you mean? I asked. Come, she said without enthusiasm. I will show thee. I knew she was in trouble when we stopped at the Goodwill drop box. 5 minutes later, Zoe had me outfitted in a ragged flannel shirt, jeans 3 sizes too big, bright red sneakers, and a floppy rainbow hat. Oh yeah, Grover said. I had to bust out laughter. You look completely inconspicuous now. Zoe nodded with satisfaction. A typical male vagrant. Thanks a lot, I grumbled. Why am I doing this again? I told thee, to blend in. She led the way back down to the waterfront, after a long time spent searching the docks. So Zoe finally stopped in her tracks. She pointed down a pier where a bunch of homeless guys were huddled down in blankets, waiting for the soup kitchen to open for lunch. He'll be down there somewhere, Zoe said. He never travels very far from the water. He likes to sun himself. He likes to sun himself during the day. How do I know which one he is? Sneak up, she said. Act homeless. You will know. he will smell different. Okay, sure, why not? Great, I didn't want to ask for particulars. And once I find him, grab him, she said, and hold on. He will try anything to get rid of thee. Whatever he does, do not let him go. Force him to tell thee about monsters. Got your back, Thalia said. She picked up something off the back of my shirt. A big clump of fuzz that came from who knows where. Ew, on second thought. I don't want I don't want you back, but we'll be rooting for you. You know what? Grover gave me a big thumbs up. I grumbled how nice it was to have super powerful friends. Then I heated down. Whoa, words. Can words do things for me, please? My brain is not doing them. Then I headed toward the deck. I pulled my hat down and stumbled like I was about to pass out, which wasn't hard considering how tired I was. I passed our homeless friend from Ember Sodato, who was still trying to warn the other guys about the metal angels from Mars. It didn't smell good. Yo, I got a shower. Love you. Love you too, Matt. And see you, man. Have a nice shower, dude. What's it? He was still trying to warn the other guys about the metal angels from Mars. He didn't smell good, but he did smell different. I kept walking. A couple of grimy dudes with plastic grocery bags for hats checked me out as I came close. Beat it, kid, one of them muttered. I moved away. It smelled pretty bad, but just regular bad. Nothing unusual. There was a lady with a bunch of plastic flamingos sitting out of a shopping cart. She glared at me like I was going to steal her birds. At the end of the pier, a guy who looked about 1,000,000 years old was passed out in a patch of sunlight. He wore pajamas and a fuzzy bathrobe. It probably used to be white. He was fat, with a white beard, and had turned. Hold on. Okay. Shit. Okay. And he was fat with a white beard and had turned yellow, kind of like Santa Claus. If Santa had been rolled out of bed and dragged through a land. Percy, man, you gotta stop insulting every single person you see. It's not okay. Listen, this is how I talk about people too, but it's only okay when I do it. And his smell, as I got closer, I froze. He smelled bad, alright, but ocean bad. Like hot seaweed and dead fish and brine. If the ocean guy had an ugly side, this guy was it. I tried not to gag as I sat down near him, and I was tired, so I had to open one eye suspiciously. I could feel him staring at me, but I didn't look. I muttered something about stupid school and stupid parents, figuring that might sound reasonable. Santa Claus went back to sleep. I tensed. I knew this was going to look strange. I didn't know how the other homeless people would react, but I jumped Santa Claus. Ah! He screamed. I meant to grab him, but he seemed to grab me instead. It was as if he'd never been asleep at all. He certainly didn't act like a weak old man. He had a grip like steel. Help me! He screamed, and he squeezed me to death. That's a crime! One of the homeless guys yelled. Kid rolling an old man like that. I rolled all right, straight down the pier until my head slammed into the post. I was dozed for a second, and Nerea's grip slackened. He was making a break for it. Before he could, I regained my sense and tackled him from behind. I don't have any money. He tried to get up. He tried to get up and run, but I locked my arms around his chest. His rotten fish smell was awful, but I held on. I don't want money, I said as he fought. I'm a half-blood. I want information. That just made him struggle harder. Heroes, why do you always pick on me? Because you know everything! He growled and tried to shake me off his back. It was like it was like holding onto a roller coaster. He thrashed around, making it impossible for me to keep an eye on for me to keep on my feet. But I gritted my teeth and squeezed tighter. We staggered toward the edge of the pier, and I got an idea. Oh no, I said, not the water. The plane worked immediately. Nereus yelled in triumph and jumped off the edge. Together we plunged into San Francisco Bay. He must have been surprised when I tightened my grip. The ocean filled me with the extra strength, but Nereus had a few tricks left too. He changed shape until he was holding a sleek black seal. I've heard people make jokes about trying to hold a greased pig, but I'm telling you, holding onto a seal in the water is harder. Nereus plunged straight down, wriggling and thrashing through the dark water. If I hadn't been Poseidon's son, there's no way I could have stayed with him. I love every time Percy's underwater, man. Every time Percy's underwater, it's so freaking cool. Every single time. Nereus spun and expanded. Nereus spun and expanded, turning into a killer whale. But I grabbed his dorsal fin as he burst out of the water. A whole bunch of tourists went, whoa. I managed to wave at the crowd. Yeah, we do this every day here in San Francisco. Bro, one of the things Rick keeps bringing up each book more. Bro, one of the things Rick keeps bringing up each book more. So Rick keeps bringing up each book more. So then how scary Greek mythology is, but how atrocious everything smells. I think I understood what you were trying to say in that sentence. It took me a second, but I think I understood. Yeah. Nereus plunged in the water and turned into a slimy eel. I started to tie him into a knot until I realized what was going on and changed back until he realized what was going on. Why won't you drown? He waved, pummeling me with his fist. I'm Poseidon's son, I said. Curse that upstart. I was here first. Finally, he collapsed on the edge of the boat dock. Above us was one of those tourist piers lined with shops, like a mall on water. Nereus was heaving and gasping, like I was feeling great. I could have gone all day, but I didn't tell him that. I wanted to feel like he'd put up a good fight. My friends ran down the steps from the pier. You got him, Zoe said. You don't have to sound so amazed, I said. Nereus moaned, oh, wonderful. An audience for my humiliation. The normal deal, I suppose. You'll let me go if I answer your question? I've got more than one question, I said. Only one question per capture. That's the rule. I looked at my friends. This wasn't good. I needed to find Artemis, and I needed to figure out what the doomsday creature was. Just capture him again. I will try to make these less wordy. It's all good, man. It's fine. Just capture him again. You don't need to only ask one question. And I need to find Artemis. I need to figure out what the doomsday creature was. I also need to know if Annabeth was still alive, and how to rescue her. How could I ask that all in one question? My voice inside my head was screaming, ask about Annabeth. That's what I cared about most. But then I imagined what Annabeth might say. She would never forgive me if I saved her and didn't save Olympus. So he would want me to ask about Artemis. But Chiron had told us the monster was even more important. I sighed, alright Nereus, tell me where to find this terrible monster that can bring an end to the gods. The one Artemis was hunting. The old man of the seat smiled, showing off his mossy gray teeth. Oh, that's too easy, he said evilly. He's right there. Nereus pointed to the water at my feet. Where? I said. The deal is complete. Nereus gloated with a pop. He turned into a goldfish and did a backflip into the sea. You tricked me, I yelled. Wait. Now his eyes widened. What is that? Moo! Let's go! I looked down, and there was my friend, the cow serpent, swimming next to the dock. She nudged my shoe and gave me the sad brown eyes. Ah, Bessie, I said. Not now. Well, I let's go because I thought Bessie was going to catch Nereus in her mouth and make him answer more questions. But now I'm regretting that let's go because I'm pretty sure Bessie is the evil beast. So that's horrifying. Go rest. He says his name isn't Bessie. Not only was he wrong about the name, he was wrong about the gender. I freaking love Percy, man. You can understand him? Grover nodded. It's a very old form of animal speech, but he says his name is Ophiotaurus. The Opha what? It means serpent bull in Greek, thought he said. But what's it doing here? Moo. He says Percy's a protector, Grover announced. And he's running from the bad people, he says. They are close. I was wondering how you got all of that from a single moo. Wait, Zoe said, looking at me. You know this cow? I was feeling impatient, but I told him the story. Thalia shook her head in disbelief. And you just forgot to mention this before? Well, yeah, it seems silly now. Well, it seems silly now that she said it. But things have been happening so fast. Bessie, the Ophiotaurus, seemed like a minor detail. I'm a fool, Zoe said suddenly. I know this story. What story? From the War of the Titans, she said. My father told me this tale thousands of years ago. This is the beast we are looking for. Bessie? I looked down at the bull serpent, but he's too cute. He couldn't destroy the world. This is so facts. Dude is like Shenron. Only one question, you gotta find him again. That's so BS. That's so BS. He literally just keep him in a chokehold. Have them all keep him in a chokehold, and then you can ask him as many questions as you want, or just hold your sword to his chest. I like how rather than some crazy powerful monster, it is a harmless bull serpent that gets caught in fish nets. Yeah, that's wild. Bessie, yeah, that is how we were wrong, so we said. We've been anticipating a huge dangerous monster, but the Ophiotaurus does not bring down the gods that way. He must be sacrificed. Oh. Bessie bellowed. I don't think he likes the S word, Grover said. I patted Bessie on the head, tried to calm him down. He let me scratch his ear, but he was trembling. How could anyone hurt him? I said. He's harmless. Billy nodded. But there is power in killing innocents. Terrible power. The fates ordained a prophecy eons ago, when the creature is born. They said that whoever killed the Ophiotaurus and sacrificed its entrails to fire would have the power to destroy the gods. Grover said, maybe we could avoid talking about the entrails too. Thalia stared at the cow serpent with wonder. The power to destroy the gods. How? I mean, what would happen? No one knows, Zoe said. The first time during the Titan War, Ophiotaurus was in fact slain by a giant ally of the Titans. But thy father, Zeus, sent an eagle to snatch the entrails away before they could be tossed into the fire. It was a close call, and after 3,000 years, the Ophiotaurus is reborn. Thalia sat down on the dock. She stretched out her hand. Bessie went right to her. Thalia placed her hand on his head. Bessie shivered. Thalia's expression bothered me. She almost looked hungry. You have to protect him. I told her, if Luke gets hold of him, Luke wouldn't hesitate. Thalia muttered. The power to overthrow Olympus? That's huge. Yes, it is, my dear, said a man's voice in a heavy French accent. Ooh, and it is the power you shall unleash. It's the Manticore, isn't it? The Ophiotaurus made a whimpering sound and submerged. I looked up. We'd been so busy talking, we allowed ourselves to be ambushed. Standing beside us, his two colored eyes gleaming wickedly, was Dr. Thorne, the Manticore himself. This is just perfect, the Manticore gloated. He was wearing a ratty black trench coat over his Westover Hall uniform, which was torn and stained. His military haircut had grown into spiky and greasy. He hadn't shaved recently, so his face was covered in silver stubble. Basically, he didn't look much better than the guys down at the soup kitchen. Long ago, the gods banished me to Persia, the Manticore said. I was forced to scourge the food on the edge of the world, hiding in forests, devouring insignificant humans, farmers for my meals. I never got to fight any great heroes. I was not feared and admired in the old stories, but now that will change. The Titans shall honor me, and I shall feast on the flesh of half-bloods. They are really on their Kratos shit. True. Yes, trying to kill all the gods and shit. Big Money. Rowan. Hi, Big Money. I don't know if I've seen you before. I have no idea what Rowan means. Well, welcome into the stream. It's nice to have you. On either side of him, my fault. No idea what you're talking about, but you're all good, man. On either side of him stood two armed security guards. Some of the mortal mercenaries I'd seen in DC. Two more stood on the next boat dock over, just in case we tried to escape that way. There were tourists all around, walking down the waterfront, shopping at the pier above us. But I knew that wouldn't stop the Manticore from acting. Where are the skeletons? I asked the Manticore. He sneered. I do not need those foolish undead. The general thinks I am worthless. He will change his mind when I defeat you myself. I needed time to think. I had to save Bessie. I could dive into the sea, but how could I make a getaway with a 100-pound cow serpent? Oh, I did not think that thing was that big. 500 pounds? What about my friends? We beat you once before, I said. Ha, you could barely fight me with a goddess on your side. And alas, that goddess is preoccupied at the moment. There will be no help for you now. Zoe notched an arrow and aimed it straight at the Manticore's head. The guards on either side of us raised their guns. Wait, I said. Zoe, don't! The Manticore smiled. The boy is right. Zoe Nightshade, put away your bow. It would be a shame to kill you before you witness Thalia's great victory. What are you talking about, Battleground? She had her shield and spear ready. Surely it is clear, the Manticore said. This is your moment. This is why Lord Kronos brought you back to life. You will sacrifice the Orpheotaurus. You will bring its entrails to the sacred fire on the mountain. You will gain unlimited power, and for your 16th birthday, you will overthrow Olympus. No one spoke. It made terrible sense. Thalia was only 2 days away from turning 16. She was a child of the Big Three, and here was a choice, a terrible choice that could mean the end of the gods. It was just like the prophecy said. I wasn't sure if I felt relieved, horrified, or disappointed. I wasn't the prophecy kid after all. Doomsday was happening right now. I waited for Thalia to tell the Manticore off, but she hesitated. She looked completely stunned. You know it is the right choice. The Manticore told her. Your friend Lou recognized it. You shall be reunited with him. You shall rule this world together under the auspices of the Titans. Your father abandoned you, Thalia. He cares nothing for you, and now you shall gain power over him. Crush the Olympians underfoot, as they deserve. Call the beast. It will come to you. Use your spear. Thalia, I said, step out of it. She looked at me, the same way she had the morning she woke up on Half-Blood Hill, dazed and uncertain. It was almost like she didn't know me. I don't... Your father helped you, I said. He sent the Metal Angels. He turned into... He turned you into a tree to preserve you. Her hand tightened the shaft of her spear. I looked at Grover desperately. Thank the gods. He understood what I needed. He raised his pipes to his mouth and played a quick riff. The Manticore yelled, "Stop him!" The gods had been targeting Zoe before they could figure out what the kid with the pipes was. Figure out that the kid with the pipes was the bigger problem. The wooden planks of their feet sprouted the branches, entangling their legs. Zoe let loose 2 quick arrows that exploded at their feet in clouds of sulphurous yellow smoke. Fart arrows. Let's go. The guards started coughing. The Manticore shot spines in our direction, but they ricocheted off my lion's coat. Grover, I yelled. Tell Bessie to dive deep and stay down. Moo, Grover translated. I could only hope that Bessie got the message. The cow, Thalia muttered, still in a daze. The cow? Thalia muttered, still in a daze. Come on! I pulled her along as we ran up the stairs to the shopping center on the pier. We dashed around the corner of the nearest store. I heard the Manticore shouting at his minions. Get them! Tor screamed as the guards shot blindly into the air. We scrambled to the end of the pier. We hid behind a little kiosk filled with souvenir crystals, wind chimes, and dream catcher stuff like that. The glittering in the sunlight. There was a water fountain next to us. Down below, a bunch of sea lions were sunning themselves on the rocks. The whole of San Francisco Bay spread out before us. The Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz Island, the green hills. Fog beyond that in the north. A picture-perfect moment, except for the fact we were about to die and the world was going to end. Grover, go over the side, Zoe told me. You can escape in the sea, Percy. Call on thy father for help. Maybe you can save the Ophiotauros. She was right, but I couldn't do it. I won't leave you guys, I said. We fight together. You have to get word to camp, Grover said. At least let them know what's going on. My dude. Wow, she was really... Yeah, I know. The fact that Thalia was actually considering... Like, why are you even on this quest, bro? Why are you even on this quest if you resent the gods that much that you would actually consider killing them? Percy would never. Percy would never if given the choice. Like, And I was honestly thinking that Percy might not be the child of prophecy. Because, you know, I don't know, it'd be cooler if he wasn't. But the fact that Thalia is considering it and she's turned 16 soon, and that means after she's 16 it wouldn't happen, it's definitely Percy now. Dude, come on, Thalia, you can't be like that. Then I noticed the crystals making rainbows in the sunlight. There was a drinking fountain next to me. Get word to camp, I muttered. Good idea. I uncapped Griptide and slashed off the top of the water fountain. Water burst out in the pipes and sprayed all over us. Thalia gasped as the water hit her. The fog seemed to clear from her eyes. Are you crazy? She asked. But Grover understood. He was already fishing around in pocket for coins. He threw a golden drachma into the rainbow and created by the mist and yelled, "Oh goddess, accept my offering." The mist rippled. Camp Half-Blood, I said. And there, shimmering in the mist right next to us, was the last person I wanted to see. Mr. D, wearing his leopard skin jogging suit and rummaging through the refrigerator. He looked up lazily. Do you mind? Where's Chiron? I shouted. How rude, Mr. D took a swig from a jug of grape juice. Is that how you say hello? Hello, I amended. We're about to die. Where's Chiron? Mr. D considered that. I wanted to scream at him to hurry up, but I knew that wouldn't work. Behind us, footsteps and shouting, the Manticore troops were closing in. About to die, Mr. D mused. How exciting. I'm afraid Chiron isn't here. Do you like me to take a message? I looked at my friends. We're dead. Thalia gripped her spear. She looked like her angry old self again. Then we'll die fighting. How noble, Mr. D said, stiffling me on. So what is the problem exactly? I didn't see that it would make any difference, but I told him the Ophiotorius. He studied the contents of the fridge, so that's it, I see. You'll even care, I screamed. You just as soon watch us die. Let's see. I think I'm in the mood for pizza tonight. Look at I hate and love Mr. D, man. I wanted to slash through the rainbow and disconnect, but I didn't have time. The Manticore screamed, "There!" And he was surrounded. Two of the guards stood behind him, and the other two appeared on the roof of the pier shop above us. The Manticore threw his coat and transformed into his true self, his lion claws extended and his spiky tail bristling with poison barb. Excellent. He glanced at the apparition in the mist and snorted. Alone? Without any real help. Wonderful. You could ask for help, Mr. D murmured, as if this were an amusing thought. You could say please. When wild boars fly, I thought, there was no way I was going to die begging a slob like Mr. D just so we could laugh as we all got gunned down. Zoe readied her arrows. Grover lifted her pipes. Thalia raised her shield, and I noticed a tear running down her cheek. Suddenly it occurred to me. This had happened to her before. She had been courted on Half-Blood Hill. She'd willingly given her life for her friends, but this time she couldn't save us. How could I let that happen to her? Bro, it'd be so hard if in the live action we saw Thalia's sacrifice. In the live action we saw a scene of Thalia's sacrifice, that'd be so goated, bro. Anyway. How could I let that happen to her? Please, Mr. D, I muttered. Help. Of course nothing happened. The Manticore grinned. Spare the daughter of Zeus. She will join us soon enough. Kill the others. The man raised their guns, and something strange happened. You know how you feel when all the blood rushes to your head? Like if you hanged upside down and turned right side up too quickly? There was a rush like that all around me, and a sound like a huge sigh. The sunlight tingled with purple. I smelled grapes, and something more. Sour wine. Snap! It was the sound of many minds breaking at the same time. The sound of madness. One guard put his pistol between his teeth like it was bone, and ran around on all fours. Two others dropped their guns and started waltzing with each other. The fourth began doing what looked like an I was clogging dance. It would have been funny if it wasn't so terrifying. No, screamed the Manticore. I will deal with you. Mr. D coming in clutch, bro. Yes. Yes. I've been waiting for a great Mr. D moment. I still think we have better moments to come, but this is great. Let's go. She better not talk shit about anyone again, or she's going to get, oh yeah, coming from the girl considered killing us all. That's so true. I would never let her live that down, bro. You actually consider that? Bitch, the fuck? Not invited to my birthday party. Do that much. Not invited to my birthday party. Not invited to my wedding. Um, I will deal with you myself. His tail bristled, but the planks under his paw erupted into great vines, which immediately began wrapping around the monster's body, sprouting new leaves and clusters of green baby grapes that ripened in seconds as the manticore shrieked until it was engulfed in a huge mass of vines, leaves, and full clusters of purple grapes. Finally, the grapes stopped shivering, and I had a feeling that somewhere inside there, the manticore was no more. Dang. The manticore did not get his glorious moment. You'll have to see it. Well said, Dionysus, closing the refrigerator. That was fun. I stared at him, horrified. How did you? Such gratitude, he muttered. The mortals will come out of it. Too much explaining to do. If I made their condition permanent, I hate writing reports to father. He stared resentfully at Thalia. I hope you learned your lesson, girl. It isn't easy to resist power, is it? Thalia blushed as if she were ashamed. Mr. D. Grover said in amazement, You just saved us. Don't make me regret it, Satyr. He loves them. He loves them in secret. Come on. Maybe he doesn't, but still. It's still cool. I'm sure Mr. D's gonna like Percy by the end, or I hope at least. No, like, Percy's gonna change his mind on heroes. Percy's definitely gonna change his mind on heroes. I can see it now. Now get going, Percy Jackson. I bought you a few hours at most. The Ophiuchus said, Can you get it to camp? Mr. D sniffed. I do not transport livestock. That's your problem. But where do we go? Dionysus looked at Zoe. Oh, I think the huntress knows. You must enter at sunset today. You know, or all is lost. Now goodbye. My pizza's waiting. Mr. D, I said. He raised his eyebrows. You called me by my right name, I said. You call me Percy Jackson. Oh! Nah, Titan's Curse might be the best one so far. Titan's Curse might be the best book so far, dude. I most certainly did not, Peter Johnson. Now off with you. He might actually did like him in secret, because Percy humbled himself. Because that was Mr. D's whole issue. Hold on, this chapter's almost over. He waved his hand, and its image disappeared in the mist. All around us, the Manticore's minions were still acting completely nuts. One of them had found our friends, the homeless guy, and they were having a serious conversation about metal angels from Mars. Several other guards were harassing the tourists, making animal noises and trying to steal their shoes. I looked at Zoe. What did he mean? You know where to go. Her face was the color of fog. She pointed across the bay, past the Golden Gate in the distance. A single mountain rose up from the cloud layer. The guard to my sisters, she said. I must go home. And that, my friends, is the end of the last chapter for today. Maybe that changed his mind on Percy, on heroes, or at the very least on Percy, because that was Mr. D's whole thing. Heroes are arrogant, heroes are selfish, and they're hypocrites. I could say the gods, but Percy humbled himself and asked Mr. D for help when nobody else would. That might have changed his mind. That's maybe why I called him Percy Jackson. Ah, man. It was great seeing Mr. D be cool, and I understand that he wants respect from people, but he's out here ignoring the kids, and they're about to die until they plead him a big they're about to die until they plead to him a big problem with the gods. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, that is just how all gods act. I'm not shocked that Mr. D did that. I'm not shocked at all. I'm just happy that that we had that moment in general. I told you that was badass. It was a great Mr. D moment. I didn't know anything about his powers until Percy Jackson, so it was crazy to discover it that way. Yeah, man. Ah, what a great scene. What a great scene with Mr. D. That's so sick. Especially considering these kids are trying to save Olympus. I know, dude. I know. Oof. Oh, that was great. Now we know the Ophiuchus. Bessie is the big bad. Not the big bad necessarily, but the key that we have to protect. And that, what is it? What else do we know? That's about it. And we know where to go. That's where we're gonna head next. Man, these were some great chapters. Long as shit. I didn't expect them to be this long. I didn't expect this to be a 2.5-hour stream. I at most expected it to be done 2 hours ago. Sorry, 30 minutes ago. But still, it was freaking great. Just because that's it, just because that's it how it is, doesn't mean it's how it should be. This is true. This is true. It is not how it should be. But it's hard to get billion-year-old, or I guess billion, I don't know how old they are, millennia-year-old beings to change their minds. Gods are immortal. They've had 1,000 years to be stubborn. It's gonna take a lot to change how they are. Enjoy the one chapter you can read myself, but it's also a good chapter. I will. Thank you, man. I will. I do not necessarily know if I will be reading tomorrow, because I think I might have something to do tomorrow. I might be busy then. But if not, I will definitely be here Saturday to finish out this book. I really want to finish out this book. Titan's Curse is seeming like it's about to be the best one so far. It's definitely seeming like it's about to be the best one so far. And it has stronger storytelling fundamentals, I feel. Which I'm really, really enjoying. I'm really freaking enjoying. I think I'm enjoying each book more than the last, which is how a good story is supposed to go. So yeah, I'm really liking this. Yeah, so far, that's what I'm saying. Titan's Curse is the best. It's seeming like the best one so far. So I'm really enjoying this. This is the best storytelling fundamentals, man. So if I can't be here tomorrow to finish out the book, I definitely will. Look out for my scheduled post. I usually schedule them hours beforehand, so look out for that. But if not, I will be here on Saturday. Yeah, because today's Thursday. Yeah, it is. It definitely is a contest for the best book. But book 5, I know that's what a lot of people are saying. Everybody says book 5. Everyone says book 5, which is honestly shocking. The ending of a series is very rarely the best one. Is very rarely everyone's favorite. But if this is everyone's favorite, I'm just like floored. Rick did the impossible. Not the impossible, but did something very difficult for a lot of writers to do, which is to end on the highest note possible, which is what you want to do with the series. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm very happy thinking about that, and I hope I feel the same way. I'm sure I will. But yeah, I've been talking for 2 hours and 30 minutes, so I'm gonna get off now. Thank you everybody for joining. I appreciate you all joining the stream. I hope I just see you again next time. You made it a lot of fun reading and talking with you guys. It was freaking awesome. The problem is that book 5 is so awesome that reading the whole book on stream might be preferable. I know, man. I was honestly thinking the same thing. I might have to do the same thing, but we'll see. After we finish book 4 on stream, you guys can help me decide what to do. We'll have a discussion after I finish book 4, and you guys can help me decide. But yeah, like I said, I had a lot of fun reading with you guys. I hope to see you guys next time. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. So until next time, end the stream, guys. See ya.